Indeed it is the VFL Women's Match of the Day here at the hangar in Tullamarine. Just along Melrose Drive. It's just off the Tullamarine Freeway. Very easy to get to. 11 a.m. bounce down for Essendon versus the Southern Saints. You're listening on WARFradio.com. At the ground, delay free on 89.1 FM. And we're standing by for our VFL YouTube stream. In fact, it's just begun now. We are on the VFLW YouTube stream. Hello to everyone that is watching on the VFLW YouTube. You can chat to us during the live chat feature as well. And we should say hello to one Alex Catatino, who's Catalano,
Catalano.
Get that right there out of my mouth. Who's watching at the moment, I believe, just coming off an overnight shift.
Yeah. Oh, look, he probably would have. He's been doing a fair bit of work at the fair bit of work behind the bar, and you know he's already shared quite a few good stories. I don't think I can share them on air. Have come over the night after a game, but. No, look, he's a cracking bloke. Hopefully, we can get him doing commentary soon, Peter. I mean, I'm trying my best here to try and get him over.
Okay, Alex Catalano, you can also hear on the A3 podcast. They talk about the AFLW moving seasons, potentially to start in August. Check it out wherever you get your good podcasts, the A3 podcast. We're also joined by Di Fireland, who, of course, is going to umpire at some stage this year her 1,500th game of football, over 400 of them in the women's game as well. But we want to talk about one player right now since our YouTube streamers have joined us. That is Georgia Nanscawen, the reigning Helen Lambert Daisy Pearce medalist. That's league best and fairest from last year. We debated on our previous broadcast who are Essendon going to sign as their first AFLW player, because the Hawks came out with Bridget Deed. We go, do you go a youngster? Do you go like a VFLW player that's looking at redemption? Do you go for an AFLW player that's been poached from elsewhere? They went, no, we're going with the co-captain, captain over 2 years, the league best and fairest, and essentially the standard bearer at Essendon. They've come out and said, Nanscawen, our number one footballer, is our number one AFLW signing.
Well, it couldn't have been anybody else, could it, Peter? And as well, we touched on that on the A3 podcast as well, Peter, just this week. And she's the sort of player that just exemplifies what Essendon's all about. And we've heard Major talk about it in the pre-game as well. She's just a consummate professional athlete, great elite in her preparation, has been working on those sort of little deficiencies in her game whilst she's been playing to her strengths as well. And the fact that she's been able to just do what she can in the midfield is just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I'm stoked for her. I think she's been far and wide the best player in the VFLW over the course of the last year and a half. And honestly, if it was anybody else, would have been a damn crime.
Di, we've been talking about earlier when we mentioned Cecilia McIntosh, and we can throw Georgia into the same conversation about players who look after their body and are elite. Mind you, I should mention that she did a 1,000-kilometre ride for the sick kids for the Starlight Foundation during September, while we're all in lockdown, as ways of keeping herself fit. She's a former Olympian with the Hockey Roos, won the Commonwealth Games gold medal in Glasgow, played her first footy at Swan Districts under Nicole Graves originally, and then Cara Antonio then coached that second half of the year. Spent time under Scott Gowans with a season at North Melbourne. Someone who has just been elite in preparation, and I think possibly a good example to show to recruits coming in. This is the type of footballer we want.
Absolutely. I'm really excited for her, and I tend to agree with you guys. It's a fantastic first signing for Essendon, and I think it shows a lot about where they're headed with their program. It'll be interesting to see who follows up or who they follow up with in future signings, but it is certainly a big start for them.
I just want to say as well, Peter, we mentioned the two signings, Bridget Deed at Hawthorn, and what they're trying to build. I think they could go a younger approach. I think Essendon's got enough talent in this VFLW team, and they could very well have the resources to poach like really good players from AFLW level to really be in that top 8 teams next season, if all goes according to plan, of course. But I just want to get your thoughts on that.
The more important thing that Essendon have done with Nanscawen is not only just because of the output that she puts on the field. She's starting to improve on her kicking, which maybe was a little bit of a weak spot in the game originally. But from speaking to a mutual friend of mine and Di's, Nicole Graves, who coached Georgia when she first started playing Aussie rules at Swan Districts, and this is a theme that I've heard elsewhere, but Nicole was first to say it. And ironically, we're talking things unrelated to football. She said, Georgia, ripping person. And everyone that I've met, and like I chat to Danny Marshall regularly because of our connection through the USAFL, all saying the same things when they mention Georgia, ripping person. And in a way, Essendon is putting their first signing out there is almost, in a strange way, almost like a salesperson, that it's able to, all of a sudden, they're able to present Georgia to potential recruits that want to leave the current AFLW clubs and join Essendon and go, this is the person we've got, and that person can have a coffee with them. And they go, that's a ripping person. I like that person. I like what they're doing. Yes, I will sign with this club.
I want to actually give a shout out to Alex Calano again because he's a mad Essendon fan, and he would have done a lot of work, covering Essendon's VFLW program over the last 12 to 18 months. And like me, we've been very high on what she's been able to produce at VFLW level. But the fact that she's just such a down-to-earth person and just willing for a conversation. And on a couple of times, Kat's tried to sort of ask the question on whether or not she's close to getting that Essendon signing, and G's just giving her absolute donuts, just trying to keep it under wraps. So I think it just speaks a lot about her. I think just a very down-to-earth person.
Absolutely, and we can speak highly of her. The only thing I'll mark her down on was just during those VFL videos, talking with the captain, she mentioned that she likes Triple J. So, no one can be perfect, but
look, to each their own. I'm not a big Triple J fan either, but to each their own. I'm not going to judge her on that.
We'll get that sorted out by the time the AFLW starts. I mean, lose the Triple J playlist. Come on. But she does live in the inner north, so I guess it kind of suits. We're not too far away.
Subtle whack. Talk about that.
Hey, I grew up in the outer north. We're just whacking those in the inner north, saying you're not the real north. Okay. Sorry, the Broady boy and me coming out. Good old 3047 postcode. Di Filan, we're looking at this game. Is Essendon going to go 5-0? Or do you see the Southern Saints buoyed after their performance of taking care of business against Geelong last week, finally putting a dent in the crown of the Bombers?
Look, I personally would love to see the Bombers get up and take the points today. But I think what Dale's doing with that mob down at the Southern Saints is starting to really get things happening. And if the Bombers are going to take the points, they're going to have to earn them. They're not going to be given a free ride here today. And I think we're in for a cracking game.
Spoken as a true umpire. On the fence, not favouring either side.
Absolutely. I think the thing that's really impressed me about the Southern Saints last week was their clearance. They were plus 20 in the clearances against the Cats. So, and we were here last week to cover the Essendon Williamstown game, and I think Williamstown in patches showed a lot around the contest that really sort of uneased the Bombers and how they try to play. Ultimately, they got over the top of them, but I think it certainly didn't go without them earning quite a few of their touches.
Who do you tip them by how much, Doc?
Oh, tough one. I'd like to say the Saints. I'd like to see them get up, but I'm just convinced that the system that the Bombers have in place, I think they'll get it done, but it'll be less than a kick in it.
I tell you what.
You're not going to, are you?
Essendon have never beaten the Southern Saints in the VFLW.
Oh, no, he's going to go for it. You're going to go for it, aren't you?
Essendon by 5 points.
Oh.
And I tell you what, I've tipped every Essendon side with a blowout so far and have been on the money that it's all been a blowout. I think today, Nanscawen, they managed to cover last week against Williamstown. Now they got Ford out. But you're not playing against a Williamstown or a Port Melbourne or a Bulldogs. You're playing against a good Southern Saints team. I think they get it in a nail-biter.
Well, that's the thing as well. I've touched on Ford's game last week. Just a terrific sort of outside sort of player that really helped link up how Essendon like to move the ball. And having her out today, it adds a bit more pressure on players like Doonan and Zanketta and the likes as well. So it'll be very interesting. Just having a look at seeing who's lining up here down forward our side, and it looks like it might be the Saints.
Saints are going towards right of screen, by the way. Radford starting on the ball for Essendon. So is Zanchetta and Doonan on the ball as well. Hello to everyone watching on Bomber Blitz. Hello to everyone at bigfooty.com as well. Thanks for your company. On wolfradio.com, the VFLW YouTube stream, 89.1 FM of the ground, delay free. This is round 5, VFLW, Essendon and the Southern Saints. We're away now to beats out Hines in the contest. Taken out by Doonan, who got it to Radford immediately. Radford straight down the guts and finds Mia Ray Clifford. Fast start for the Bombers. They have the football, 50 metres out from goal. Tries to square it up in these windy conditions. Was looking for Cecilia McIntosh. Hands and knees stuffed with Ebony Nixon all over her. Umpire is circling. On the deck is Tierney, who tried to fire out the hand pass unsuccessfully. And the umpire comes in and will call for a ball up. Hot start to the dock.
Well, it looks like Lucy Burke's got the early job here on Mia Ray Clifford, so that's going to be a massive clash here. And I'll tell you what, you wouldn't have picked it any other way. Clifford to McIntosh.
And they've pulled out an early 50-metre penalty to Rebecca Neves, the former Bomber. She has the football in the centre of the ground here at Melrose Drive, Tullamarine. Looking around for some options. Elects to go straight down the guts. Why not when you got the breeze? It's a long kick. It went through several sets of hands. Trying to get back there is Tasman Crook. She was trying to punch the ball away from her Saints opponent, and that opponent is DeAngelis, who immediately wraps up her opponent, and the umpire comes in and says ball up. That's Danielle Marshall in there for the Bombers. So we'll restart the play 45 metres out from the Southern Saints goal. Behind there we go. Windy conditions here at the ground. That is not Windy Hill. It is the hangar in Tullamarine. In goes Danielle Marshall. Got the kick away as she was being spun around. Intercepted though by Nikki Cormack. Cormack tries to square the football up. There was a nasty curve on the ball at the last second. Here's the hurry kick on goal by Flanagan. It is out of bounds. Touched off the boot. That means we'll call for a throw-in. Let's get some early thoughts on how the game's been progressing a minute or so in from Dyfe Island.
St Kilda then showed very good transition courtesy of that 50-metre penalty. I'm not quite sure what that was for. Perhaps a delay of getting up and moving off the mark. But it's a really good start from both sides. We're not going to see Essendon giving St Kilda anything, and St Kilda are definitely not standing back and waiting for things to happen themselves.
And I'm glad you called them St Kilda as well. It gets on my goat. Southern Saints, call them St Kilda or call them Sandringham. Call them by the suburb name. Sorry, Doc, I'm not a fan either of Western with your Bulldogs. Call them Footscray. As we have the ball back with another ball up. The reset of play at 45 metres out from the Southern Saints goal. Going towards the right of screen.
Definitely not against that, Peter.
As the ball goes up in the air. One out by Nelda in the contest. Sharked immediately off the pack by Hannah Stewart, who goes for distance. Bouncing goal for the Saints.
Well shepherded through there too.
Hannah Stewart has the Saints first. They go to 1 straight 6. Essendon yet to score here at the hangar in Tullamarine. You're on WARFradio.com, 89.1 FM at the ground, and on the VFLW YouTube stream. Some thoughts from the doc.
Well, credit to Tessa Boyd there, who was in the goal square, shepherded that through. Just read the play quicker than a direct opponent. And what a take from Hannah Stewart out of the ruck. That was just fantastic. And tell you what, great start by the Southern Saints. The pressure's on. I've liked how they've applied themselves to the contest, and they're definitely not going to give Essendon any easy outs today.
And Dom, I'm just a little bit worried about Essendon just having that hole in defence early on, particularly when the breeze is going to push the ball deep.
I think that's something that Major's going to have to really work on. And here goes St Kilda again.
That's Stewart. Yeah, and that's Stewart by Stewart, who's kicked it long towards the half-forward flank position. Bouncing football. Bombers are going to get on the end of it there. That was originally through Morecambe. They gave up the hand pass. Crook, was she called it? Umpire has spotted the whistle. That's the umpire from behind play.
I reckon she had a tug of the ponytail.
She certainly had a good fist of hair there, and that's why the free kick has been paid.
She was just seeing if she was using Gunia fructus. That's all going. The hair, it's so silky. Now Julian moves out towards Marshall on the back pocket on the Melrose Drive side of the ground. She goes long with the kick. It's not that great. There's a bunch of Saints around there. Going to get to it first is Ebony Nixon. She's immediately bowled over. Another tackle laid here for the Bombers. Is watching on as Radford umpire comes in and says that's no prior opportunity. Player caught with a football on that occasion. Looks like it's Taylor Kearns. And the umpire will take the football back and we'll restart the play again. Up in the air it goes. Nelda wins it down. Trying to get in there is Zanchetta. Hands and knee stuff. Got it back to Nelda. Nelda one-step kick. Does it go the required distance according to the umpire? No. Kearns got to play on. Here's the hurry kick now towards the half-forward flank position. Morecambe trying to get back there for the Bombers. Crook there as well. Trying to create pressure is Flanagan. Bombers will come out of defence though. Through to Cole Julian. Julian in towards the centre of the ground. coming through there and getting bowled over at the same time as Eloise Ashley Cooper manages to knock it forward. Bombers this time now move it towards the half-forward flank on the broadcast side of the ground. The cavalry will run and try and arrive. Getting spun around as McLean got the hand pass away. Saints now with a long kick by Meyer. Goes up towards the half-forward flank position. Waiting back there at the moment was Morgan. The ball was smothered out of her hands. She slips over with her opponent in Peck. Now swinging in for the Bombers and picking up Ashley Cooper. Got it back to Morgan. Morgan across to Ugle. Ugle went over the top to Zanchetta. Zanchetta to Ashley Cooper. Beautiful chain of hand passes. Now goes up the line towards centre wing broadcast side.
McIntosh
coming out to beat the football there and taking it is Frederica Frew. Frederica Frew now kicks it towards the half-forward flank. McIntosh is going to get onto it. She's going to try and spin around. Thought about the hand pass to Clifford. Then elects to go for the hand pass to Frew, who ran up the ground. Kicked it towards the corner. It was an awkward kick for Radford. Radford got it on the boot. Radford goes for goal. Umpire says a push. Is it downfield?
Got to give it downfield.
Indeed it is. And downfield free kick. This time going to, guess who? We're in the 18. It's Kendra Heil. She celebrated her birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, Kendra.
And she comes. Happy birthday, Kenny! Kendra Heil gets a goal for the Bombers. And it's all even here at one straight 6 apiece between the Bombers and the Southern Saints. And Di Filan, you were impressed with that chain of hand passes.
Certainly was. The Bombers moved the ball very, very well there. And I really loved when the C-Bomb got the ball. She just had that extra bit of time to be able to take the best option, leading to Kenny's goal.
Well, everybody was still getting back from the Bombers. That's the thing, and as you said, I think that's the best passenger play already today. It just against the wind, you've just got to try and run it up, get numbers behind the ball, and just run it up. And with those chain of hand passes, and the poise by McIntosh to set that goal up was just absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're going into the wind, the only way to go is low and run.
110%.
These girls are not strong enough to be able to kick the big distances, so short is the only way home.
Cornish now going up in the ruck against Hines. Radford tried to get onto it. Toe poker along the ground by Nikki Wallace, wearing the 7. An emergency in today for the Southern Saints. Getting in there a bit rough, I think, might have been the Angeles umpires given the free kick going the way of the Bombers. And she'll just reset the player on the mark. That's the number 13 with a footy, and Elizabeth Hosking. Hello to Di Marshall, by the way, watching online, who is, of course, the aunt of Renee Tierney, playing today for the Bombers. Taking the mark and leading out to take it is Joanne Doonan. In her second game for Essendon, formerly of Carlton in the AFLW. Now goes long up the line, over the head of McIntosh, getting back there to take the mark. By the look of it, looks like it might have been Hines, who now gets it. Alexandra Hines kicks in towards the middle of the ground for Rapari. Rapari gets going. She's got a player out in the half-forward flank. It's going to be a 1-on-2 foot race here. Will it set up? It does. She's got to sell the candy. Olivia Flanagan goes for goal. Did it get there?
It's home.
It's a goal to Flanagan.
What a goal.
Brilliant running play. 2-on-1. She had to sell the candy from 45 metres out with the breeze. She says, angle, no problems, Doc.
That's an absolute. That's brilliant use of the angles there, and just knew that kick was heading straight to Olivia Flanagan. She was streaming down this broadcast wing all by herself. No Bombers player within about a 10-15 metre radius. So that's terrific ball movement by the Saints. They're up and about early.
Di Filan, excellent foresight by Kayla Rapari.
Oh, absolutely. If this is a sign of things to come today, we are in for an absolute cracker of a game. I'm glad I'm not out there. I couldn't stand the pace of the game.
2 straight 12, the Southern Saints. Essendon 1 straight 6. We got a ball game early here at the hangar. Umpire throws the ball up in the air and away we go again. Hines versus Nelda. Nelda wins the tap down for the Bombers. Getting in there for the Southern Saints. Looks like it might have been Dyson, I think, out there. Turnover, Bombers football going in the way of Mia Ray Clifford, who comes out and takes a mark in front of Lucy Burke. She's on the paint, 50 metres out from goal, heading in the Federica Frew direction. Ball bounced away from her. Tierney comes out as well, got bumped off the football. Federica Frew tries to lay the tackle. The C-Bomb is there, and McIntosh to Frew. Frew tries to kick along the carpet. Oh. What happened here? Umpires come in and blown the whistle. Is it a holding infringement? It is.
Yep.
And Federica Frew will be lining up directly in front to tie up the ball game.
Jesus, we haven't even gone 10 minutes and we're already getting 4 goals in this game of footy. I mean, what are we in for today?
Federica Frew Bang to Bullant Hill end. She kicks the goal. And it's all tied up at 2 straight 12 apiece here. Di Filan, how do you like your footy?
This is fantastic football. I'm just not sure that they'll be able to sustain the pace that they've started with for a whole 4 quarters, but we're certainly shaping up to have a very high-scoring, very close affair here, and you know, from the view that we've got, this is really exciting.
Well, definitely from where we're standing, this is finals-like atmosphere already, and we're about, 5 rounds in. So what an amazing start to this game, and credit to Cecilia McIntosh with the pressure. Just keeps the ball moving. That's all you've got to do as a forward. Just keep the ball moving. Don't cause a stoppage. And look, great break there from Federica Free with the free kick.
Changing the ruck for the Southern Saints. Peck going in there now, and the immediate movement sees the ball go towards their centre-half forward. Now centre-half back as Julian tried to trap it at her feet. Managed to work out well to Kendra Heil on centre wing broadcast side, who received it from Zanchetta. Her kick's an awkward bouncing ball, got past Davies. Saints with the numbers back there. They're trying to find Talia Meyer. Ball bounced away from her under harassment there from Heil. Going to ground.
Really keep the ball rolling for the Saints.
As the ball will be thrown back into play, broadcast side here at the hangar in Tullamarine, 2 straight 12 apiece. Cracking contest early here between the Bombers and the Saints. Maybe held without the football. She threw the arms out anyway as Doonan. Umpire wouldn't pay it. Zanchetta goes in there. Manages to extract the football out. Ends up with Nelda. Now this kick is immediately smothered off the boot. Going in there is Hannah Stewart one more time again. She gets immediately pulled to ground. And the umpire is going to call for a ball up. We'll try and restart it again. Almost on centre wing.
1-on-1's forward of the ball here for the Southern Saints. So I like what Essendon are doing. They're just backing their players in the contest.
Going in there immediately is Jolliffe, who's caught by Nelda and brought to ground. Trying to get a hold of the football is Cormac, who couldn't quite pick it up. Radford wants to try and go in there for the Bombers. She's dispossessed of the football. Doonan trying to lay a tackle. Saints ball, though, and they kick it up towards the forward side of centre wing. Coming out to take the mark on this occasion, though, it's the 23 and Taylor Kearns. Kearns kick up the line, cut off by Danielle Marshall. Marshall, read it best at half-back flank. Goes with a little toe poker. Oops. Dropped by Kendra Heil, and she's swarmed upon immediately by 3 Southern Saints. Umpire says that was a throw out of that, and you cannot do it. You can when you used to play rugby in Canada, but you cannot do that in Aussie rules here. And that's a resulting free kick to Hannah Stewart.
That's just perceived pressure, isn't it, Peter? I mean, Kendra Heil, that should have been an easy uncontested mark, and she's just spilt that just easily.
And Hannah Stewart's kick, guess what, ends up with Danielle Marshall. Says, I got this. Everyone calm down. So Danielle Marshall likes playing in defence. That was her role when she played Division 2 NCAA soccer for Colorado School of Mines. Now goes towards the back pocket. Was using the agency of Hosking. And they go further still. And with the football, looks like it might be Tasman Crook out there. Indeed it is. Still in the back pocket. Just chipping it up the line.
This is where they've got to think it through, Peter. I mean, the Saints have covered off excess beautifully in this defensive press.
Mariana Anthony now has the football. Goes long over the head there. Mia Ray Clifford has pushed a long way up the ground. Jolliffe gives off the hand pass. One-step kick now heading in the direction of and getting spoiled. Tessa Boyd. Good work from behind by the Bombers. But now taking the football off the crumbs is Nikki Wallace. Kick to the intended target is ricocheted away. And the Dons through Heil will kick it out towards centre wing. Not much really on here. It's plenty of real estate, and it's going to be taken here by Rebecca Neves. Neves towards the half-forward flank, trying to find Kearns. The ball bounces away from her. Lasso rule. And it is over the boundary line and out of bounds. Now, just to clarify, are we seeing the lasso rule at all, Di Filan, being used in the EDFL, or are we playing by traditional rules?
At this stage, as I understand it, the call has gone out to local leagues who will be making their own decisions in the coming weeks as we get into the start of the season. But I could be wrong, but I get the impression that at least with women's football at local level, they will be using that because they see local level as being the pathway forward to the VFL, and if we use it at that level, then it gets players ready for that next step.
So, yeah, looking for the consistency in pathway, similar to what cricket have done. We're out there at the half-back flank now for the Saints. Immediately stripped out of there by Hosking, who gave off the hand pass. running around Mariana Anthony. She comes in board looking for Courtney Ugle. Can she run onto it? Yeah, the Wees took it the last second. 2-on-1, and Ugle got shepherded out of it. Here comes Nicole Julian. Umpire says holding on against Courtney Ugle, and that will be a free kick going to Taylor Kearns.
I mean, that was the right option. I mean, Ugle was on, but I think the kick Ugle, the kick itself was just very poor.
Oh, flying through the air, Danielle Marshall just glided as she took that one.
Jeez, what a start to this game she's played.
Danielle Marshall now goes with a little short Texas wedge kick, works out okay. And taking the mark is Jordan Zanchetta, or JC, as they're calling her around the traps. Jordan Zanchetta now working towards the halfback flank. Ugle juggling, takes the mark. Umpire says it was touched. It got to play on. She managed to run away from the contest. Wanted to come in board from the kick, but Alexandra Hines, tallest player on the ground, said, that ball is mine. And she takes the footy. Elects to go with her hand pass as they reload here towards the half-forward flank broadcast side. Coming out the metre is Amelia Peck. Got to try and turn around Marshall. She does. Now kicks it towards the half-forward flank, run on the paint at 50 out. And taking it is Taylor Kearns. Got the breeze behind her. Does she go for home or go for the short pass? She elects to square it up towards the hot spot, and it's red best, and maybe late contact there on Alexandra Morecambe. Will get up a little bit sore from that one.
Would have to be a split second in that to pay the 50-metre penalty. A brave umpire would have done that.
And going up the line, taking the mark now. Looks like it might be, if I can just see around the corner of the pole here. Yep, Eloise Ashley Cooper. She went to the intended target, and Zanchetta, who dropped it cold. Now we're at the half-back flank here for the Bombers. Ugle was there as well, trying to do some shepherding work. Hosking fires out the hand pass to Ashley Cooper. Goes on the right boot up the line, trying to find the pasty. Eleanor Cornish. Cornish with the football. Now goes towards centre wing, broadcast side. It floats in the breeze, and it's red best by the number 7 and Jessie Davies. Davies for the Bombers. Just swinging around on the right boot, going towards the half-forward flank position. Flying through the air was McIntosh, who was second in the queue, though. Ebony Nixon stood tall and took a nice mark.
Danielle Marshall already up to 7 disposals and 4 marks in defence. Just absolutely a rock-solid pillar.
And probably tells you of the Breeze, who Di Fineland has. Marshall takes another mark. Would you say the Breeze maybe 2-goal Breeze towards the right?
Yeah, I reckon that's about a spot-on assessment, Peter.
Yep, no, I can't disagree with that.
You could if you wanted to. As it's taken by Ugle, gives the hand pass off to Marshall. Marshall unloads with the big boot inside 50, and it's an accurate boot. Almost like a wicket keeper, just catching the ball, was almost going to feel a little bit short of them, just between the legs, taking it there by Jessie Davies. So Davies with the footy. She's looking for an option inside 50. She elects to go with a short pass to up to the hot spot. And taking a mark 30 to 35 metres out from goal, directly in front, is Olivia Manfrey.
How was the sticky mitts on Jessie Davies there? And then the composure to sort of go back, assess the options, let the players lead and get into their lanes. That's what team first footy's all about, Peter.
Di Fine, you play cricket at Coburg. You've surely seen wicket keepers catch balls that go on that low.
I have seen a few. I've never been able to take one myself, but it was well done by Essendon there. And
great kick.
Again, another nice straight kick. So we're continuing to see some accuracy here. And I love the fact that Essendon are backing themselves. Even when they're kicking to a contest, they've got enough courage to back their teammates.
Well, they've made a lot of uncharacteristic fumbles already this quarter, Peter, and we're seeing that they're sort of they're a little bit rattled, but they're sort of but as you said, Di, they're backing themselves in to absorb that pressure and keep the ball going. And I think that's why Essendon are currently in front. That goal there from Olivia Manfrey, just a great set shot, just as straight as a run up as you'll ever see in football.
We've got a few shout outs to do, which we'll do at quarter time on our live chat. Great to have you on the VFLW YouTube stream. 3 straight 18 Essendon, 2 straight 12 for the Southern Saints. We're away again. Ruck tap one out by Nelda. Umpire says too high in the midfield, and it's a free kick to the Southern Saints. Player feeling a little worse for wear here. Umpire's going to blow the whistle, so hold things up for a moment. And they're just checking on her to make sure that she's okay. And the player in question has tried to get up maybe 2 times and gone to her back both times. And we do need to remind, and I'm guessing it's probably the same in local footy as well, Di, that with the time on rules that we have here in the VFLW, there's no time on, it's 20 minutes straight, excluding when there's a serious injury. Released here in the VFLW, if it's a double whistle, that means the umpire indicates the timekeeper stop the clock.
Yeah, pretty much the same as we run our matches by. It's unless a stretcher comes onto the field, there is no time on.
Yeah, Nikki Cormack, the player in question there, in the hands of the trainers.
So obviously for safety, they're going to take off the ground, check the neck, and obviously probably do concussion protocols, etc.
She seems to be running to the bench all right. So look, fingers crossed, it's not a concussion issue. That it was just a bit of a jolt to the neck.
Hannah Stewart will take the resulting free kick, and almost perfect down the line. It was just dropped by her teammate at the crucial moment. I think it might have been Hines that came out the market, as now taken away with a quick hand pass, 40 metres out from goal. Rapari wanted to get in there, couldn't do so. Doonan fired out the hand pass, Hosking over the top to Heil. Heil now on the right boot for the Bombers, coming out towards half-back flank on the broadcast side. Davies going to come out and try and meet the football before she's claimed hand pass to Heil. And here comes Jolliffe, who'll mow her down.
Great tackle.
And the umpire says no proper opportunity. We will call for a ball up. But to the credit of the Bombers, Di Filan, how the defence is holding up with the Saints bombing the ball in quick.
Look, I think Danny Marshall, who you mentioned earlier, has led very well from the start in the back line. I think she's controlling what's going on down there, and the level of communication that she's clearly got with her teammates is helping the Bombers. Yes, they have... Saved by the bell.
No, is it? No, it's paid. It's paid.
It's paid.
Ugle got caught a fraction of a second before the siren. We're dropping the ball, which means Tessa Boyd gets a shot from 40 metres out in a 45-degree angle with the breeze.
Well, with the breeze, you'd assume distance isn't an issue, and just Courtney Ugle, that's too slow. You've got to get rid of the ball. Don't care how you do it, but you're in danger if you're running about 10 metres and you've still got the ball in your hands. You've just got to get rid of it.
I keep hearing Gary Ayres' words in my ears. You don't handball on the back line. As coming in there, Tessa Boyd shot at goal to see if she can tie it up.
Oh, yes!
She has tied it up. It's 3 straight, 18 apiece as we go into quarter time.
Geez, I'll tell you what, that kick went high up and then the breeze just carried that extra 5 metres, Di. It was, what a kick and what a start to this game. 3 goals apiece.
Well, we mentioned earlier during that quarter that we thought it was about a 2-goal breeze. It'll be very interesting to see what Essendon can come up with in this next quarter kicking with it. That'll give us a much better idea of how accurate we were with our assessment of what's going on down there.
Dare I say, with it being tied, both sides actually going with confidence at quarter time. For the Saints, they're picking up mentally where they left off from last week, where they got the job done at a windy Deakin Uni against Geelong, thinking, we got Geelong scalp, we're going to come here and get Essendon scalp. On the flip side, yes, Essendon are being challenged for the first time this year, but they're probably thinking, right, that's their best shot in the breeze. We've got the breeze.
Yeah, well, this is it. And we'll find out just exactly how this game will go in the second quarter, whether or not the breeze actually holds up. Right now, it's still thereabouts, so it'll be interesting to see just how defensively set up the Saints are, because we've seen them, they pressed well when Essendon tried to get the ball out, and we've seen the Bombers sort of work their way through the wind and with strength in numbers. So if the Saints can absorb that pressure the way Essendon did that quarter at stages, then I think this will be a grandstand finish.
Oh, absolutely. We heard Dale Robinson speak before the game about pressure being the key word for today for her Saints, and that's definitely what they've brought that to the game and have shown plenty of it, making Essendon make uncharacteristic errors.
As Doc gets ready to read out the stats for you, just a quick shout out on the VFLW YouTube live chat to BW, who's watching in, Stephen Duggan there as well, Kelsey Horton, who's apparently the number 2 fan of Renee Tierney running out there, Aussie as well as wishing the Bombers to come on. Looks like we got a Saints fan in there, and David McDonald as well, and Diane Marshall making the comment, looks like a harder game for the Bombers today, absolutely. How do the stats look at quarter time with the Doc?
Well, I'm looking at team stats. Marks 21-6 in favour of Essendon, so that's that short chip sort of style that they're trying to run through. Tackles 9-8 only. I would have thought there'd be a few more tackles in there, but the tackles very, very minimal. I think both teams trying to play the game on inside 50s, 11-4 in favour of the Saints, and just some leaders on the ground. Danielle Marshall 5 marks already at quarter time, 9 disposals. Hannah Stewart, 5 clearances, 6 disposals, all kicks. And Jordan Zanchetta, I thought had a tremendous start under pressure, 7 disposals, 5 handballs, 2 clearances.
We might take this opportunity to take a break here at quarter time. The Southern Saints, 3 straight 18. Essendon, 3 straight 18.
The commentary of the game you're currently listening to is from the volunteers at Women's Australian Rules Football Radio. Founded in 2014, WARF Radio is not just here to provide a professional call the women's game deserves, but also provide important experience for those wanting a career in sports media. If you're a past or present women's footballer or coach or a media student and you'd like to give football commentary a try, visit warfradio.com and click on volunteer. That's warfradio.com and click on volunteer.
Hi, I'm Natalie Armat from NITV. Sunday, March 27 is Neighbour Day, a national celebration of community. It brings together people from next door, the local community, and even online. It's a day that reminds us why having strong social connections is not only good for our own well-being, but also for the well-being of those around us. But the real strength is in knowing that Neighbour Day isn't just one day, it's every day. Find out how you can get involved at neighbourday.org.
Hey.
Hi.
Yo, what's up? We're here for Rad.
Here's a simple word of advice.
Don't drink and drive.
If you plan to drink, plan ahead.
Give up the keys.
Either drink or drive. Don't mess around trying to do both.
When you drink and drive, you're risking the life of yourself and the lives of everybody on the road.
It takes a lot of courage to convince a friend not to drive after they've been drinking, but you might just be saving their life.
So if you plan to drink, plan not to drive.
What do you listen to while you're waiting for the next VFLW game on Wharf Radio? Do you long for the days when radio stations played music that you knew without being constantly bombarded with ads and by announcers who want to make it about themselves and not about the music? Welcome to GoRadio.live. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, playing the very best music of the past 70 years. You can listen at www.goradio.live, or better still, download the free GoRadio.live app for your Apple or Android device. GoRadio.live. It's radio as it should be.
It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
Indeed, it is the VFL Women's Match of the Day on WARFradio.com, 89.1 FM at the ground, delay free, and our commentary simulcast on the VFLW YouTube channel. Hello to those in the chat, including Maddie Plays, Kimmy Thumb, and also to JT there as well, watching online. 3 straight 18 apiece goal kickers so far at quarter time. Federica Frew, 1 for Essendon. Singles also to Heil and Manfrey. And for the Southern Saints, singles to Hannah Stewart, Olivia Flanagan and Tessa Boyd. We were talking just off air during the break, Difine, you're impressed with the ball movement of Essendon and particularly staying wide.
Yeah, look, a number of times there they managed to find a loose player out wide. Didn't always capitalise on having that player there. But I thought it just showed that they're wanting to run the ball, they're wanting to open things up, and they're staying away, or at the time they were staying away from the crowded corridors, which meant the chances for the Saints to apply pressure was that much less.
Melanie Batuna caught twice in that contest. The umpire saying no pro opportunity, so we'll restart the play between centre and centre half forward for the Bombers. Awkward kick around the corner there by Hannah Stewart, who was almost going kung fu style as he tried to bend that one around. In goes Undenteta. Olivia Hosking was on the ground, just trying to move the football forward. Going to ground there is Talia Meyer as well for the Southern Saints, and the umpire will come in and call for a ball up. So about a 2-goal breeze to right of screen, where Essendon will be kicking in this second term. As we throw the football up in the air, now to wins out the contest, put it into space for Radford to try and run onto. Radford gets it across to Eloise Ashley Cooper, was looking for Zanchetta, picked off by Jolliffe. Jolliffe went with a hand pass backwards. Meyer comes in to pick up the ball. Eloise Ashley Cooper on her hammer. Meyer got the kick away, and guess who read it best? Coming all the way up the line, Danielle Marshall. Let's see if she launches or goes for a short pass here. She's on centre wing. Melrose Drive side of the ground. Runs at 2 Saints players. Gives it a big roost. Looking for Mia Ray Clifford. One hand to it. Couldn't quite control it. But manages to do the spoiling work in there to allow Jessie Davies to come into the play. Davies now sets it up towards the pocket. Was trying to look for Federica Frew. Now going in there is Cecilia McIntosh. Ripped off the football if you don't mind. Jumping in over the top, Chloe Sultry. Umpire is circling and blows the whistle and says there is no opportunity. We'll call for a ball up.
Well, again, Danielle Marshall, she's just reading the play so beautifully already at the start of this game, and that's a 6 mark already this quarter, and I wager there'd be about 5 of them intercepts.
Nelda did the rucking and the roving work at the same time. Saints trying to come out of defence on this one. Off the side of the boot, it's an interesting kick by Kearns going out towards the pocket. Came off hands, trying to get it was Neves. Seen over and out by Mariana Anthony, and will call for a ball in. Your thoughts early on this second quarter and how it's playing out, Dife Island?
Well, just looking at the way that St Kilda was setting up then, it was very reminiscent of some of the moves that Essendon made in the previous quarter, coming out wide, establishing some space, getting ready to run and deliver. So it'll be interesting to see if they continue with that or whether they revert to standard practices.
Mariana Anthony caught with the football then. The umpire says, I'll take it back and I'll throw the ball up in the air. Looks for the nominating rucks. Again, it's going to be Hines going up against Nelda in this contest. Came out to Radford. Radford goes towards the top of the goal square. It came off hands by Cormac committing too early. Ball hit the ground. Coming in there, Lucy Burke wrapping up the opponent. In fact, it wasn't Cormac that committed early. My apologies. It was Buchan. And the ball went to ground, and the umpire says, I'll take it back and call for a ball up.
Well, this is a great start defensively by the Southern Saints. They're not letting the Bombers get any easy chances at goal. They're tackling well, they're crunching well, and I think there's a blood rule here.
Yep. I don't think it's McIntosh who was running from the ground early, but I do think it might be Eloise Ashley Cooper.
I was just saying at the start of that quarter, Ashley Cooper was matching up on Hannah Stewart, and I wouldn't mind seeing that match up a little bit more because it just two midfield bulls of the competition. They're just. I want to see that. I want to see that more.
Now you're probably going to have a Stewart versus Doonan matchup.
Oh, look, I wouldn't mind that either.
Well, we'll see what happens as the umpire blows the whistle and says we're going to restart the play. And that's what happens. Hines wins it down but goes to no advantage. Manfree's got 2 players over her. She goes to ground. She's trying to get the football out. Tierney watching on. And once again, we'll call for a ball up. Sultry gives it back to the umpire.
I think this is where we're going to see a little bit more tackling by the Southern Saints this quarter. I mean, we've seen quite a number of stoppages already.
Zanchetta! Straight out of the pack and says, like a hot knife through butter, too easy.
Oh, look, just as I've been lauding the praises of their contested work around the stoppages of the Southern Saints, that was just too easy from Jordan Zanchetta. And this has been what she's been able to do the first month at Essendon. Just been able to just extract out of stoppages and just a quick thinking just to put it on the boot. Peter Holden, what a goal!
Dife Island. When you think about the thinking process and the doing process, that's happened in 1.5 seconds.
Not even that. That's why these ladies are playing at the level they're playing, because they can do those things. They've got that. It's looking at that. Jordan made that look so easy. It looked like she's practiced this a million times before, and it's just automatic recall.
4 straight 24 Essendon, 3 straight 18 the Southern Saints. Again, it's Radford who moves the ball out towards the wing position, looking for Heil in the air. It was knocked out of her hands by Meyer. Going in there, Talia Meyer one more time with Heil. This is a heck of a battle. They're both standing over the ball. They're both now going to ground and fighting forward. Zanchetta's going to come in there for the Bombers, and coming in there, I think, is Peck for the Saints. And the umpire says stalemate, call for a ball up. And we'll take the footy back. In fact, it was Stewart, pardon me, for the Saints. Umpire will take the ball back and throw it high in the air. Centre wing between the 2 interchange benches. Taken immediately out of there by Cormac. Shanks a kick going forward, but did gain about 25 metres. Taken away there by Morecambe. Going in there maybe without the ball. Hannah Stewart, umpire agrees. Says it's holding and you can't do that. So forward of centre wing for the Southern Saints. Hannah Stewart already got 1 goal so far this morning. And swings around on the left boot going up the line. Marshall going in that contest, fighting hard with her opponent. And that opponent going to ground was Amelia Peck. Coming in there. Player goes to ground, Doonan over the top. The umpire says, I'll take the footy back. And the player on the bottom of the deck, Hannah Stewart. So between centre wing and half forward flank for the Southern Saints, going to the Bullant Hill end or left of screen. Knocked down by Cornish. Kicked around the corner by Kendra Heil, who ended up flat in her backside. And intercepting the mark is Hannah Stewart. Hannah Stewart says, come to me, present. And she kicks up the line towards the forward pocket, and she manages to spot up the target. And the player that did present is Olivia Flanagan. She'll be kicking from the paint, 50 metres out from goal. Is looking to pass it off. Tries to square it up at 35 metres out from goal. It's a flat kick that hits nobody. Going in there off the side of the pack and having it smothered off her boot was Cormac. 30 metres out from goal. Ball being kicked along the carpet by Flanagan, who managed to get it back, then kicks it around the corner towards the opposite forward pocket. Coming out to meet it, Ugle immediately wrapped up and put into the ground. Umpire is circling. They're appealing for holding, and he's saying no for opportunity. We'll call for a ball up. Di Filan, how did you like that movement from the Saints going up the line?
They've certainly got a clear picture in mind of what they're wanting to do, and they're executing it well.
DeAngelis immediately wrapped up. Cornish goes in there, trying to extract the football. Does so to Marshall, immediately brought to ground. Umpire says no for opportunity. I'll take a ball up. 4 straight 24.
Looks like it's a free kick for a dangerous tackle.
Yeah, must have been a sling and paid against Peck. So Marshall, the resulting free kick. 4 straight 24 Essendon. 3 straight 18 the Southern Saints. Bombers kicking with a 2-goal breeze to right of screen this quarter. Kicks towards centre wing. A long kick that bounces up the line. Tierney comes out to get it. Knocks at the advantage there of Mia Ray Clifford, who puts it at the feet of Tierney. Not a great task to do. Ball on the deck. Almost a shovel throw out. Getting it across to Hines.
I reckon it was a shovel throw out.
And the umpire pays holding the ball in the end. I guess that's square up. And he's going the way of the Dons. And just trying to spot that player. Tierney now going short. Finding Eloise Ashley Cooper, the 2021 club best and fairest at Essendon. Eloise Ashley Cooper gets on the right boot, sets it up towards centre half forward. Bar taken by Lacey Burke, no push, play on, and swings it towards the half back flank position. Read off best though by Courtney Ugle. Got the zinc cream across the nose. Courtney Ugle looking around, swings around on the right boot, going in the direction of Mia Ray Clifford.
Oh, well, that's just good concentration by Mia Ray Clifford. Just outbodied her. That looked like it was against the 32 and Grace Buchan, but she's had Lucy Burke for company most of the day so far. So probably just a mismatch there.
Now this is where Mia Ray comes in with a skip and the step in the run up. It's an unusual run up, but if it works for you, and if it kicks goals, then you stay with it.
Yeah, well, if you kick goals, you kick goals. And why fix something that isn't broken, Peter?
Like I used to always say on the score sheet, if it's a 4, if it's an edge through slips, it still says 4 runs.
There's that skip.
In comes Mia Ray Clifford. On the right boot, 40 metres out. Does have the breeze, does not have the accuracy. 4-1-25 Essendon, 3 straight 18. And, of course, Di Filan, through your years of umpiring in the VWFL and VFLW, you would have, of course, seen Mia Ray Clifford originally start as a backline player at the St Kilda Sharks.
Yes, but she's transitioned beautifully under Major into a solid, dependable forward line player.
Umpire says there's a push out here and taken by Talia Meyer, who has it on the half-back flank in front of our broadcast position, and Jack's Cafe here at the hangar in case you want to grab a bite to eat or something to drink. If you come on down here to Tullamarine on Melrose Drive. Jonoff now with the football, half-back flank on the paint, kicks it up the line. Oh, strong grab. Alexandra Hines in the queue had about 3 or 4 jumping with her, and she stood tall. She managed to get around Cornish, got around Ugle, goes up the line, well-weighted kick, and taken by Rapari. Rapari with the football, thought about coming inboard, now looking up the line, and now looking to zigzag. And that's what she does, and mark taken by Rebecca Neves. Neves gets on the right boot, goes towards the half-forward flank on broadcast side. Knocked away from her intended target. Eloise Ashley Cooper, a bit too hot on the hand pass for Heil. Has to go again with DeAngelis all over her. Trying to make a contest out of that is Tessa Boyd. Cornish. And the ball gets...
So you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to lower their eyes, look at the angles, try and just move the ball with their chip passes. But like it's not like what the Bombers were doing before. They're missing kicks and just a little bit of composure. And look, it's interesting to see where they go here from this stoppage.
4-1-25 Essendon, 3 straight 18 the Southern Saints. The ball comes back into play. Picking it up off the ground is Winnie Lang, who got a shove at the last moment from Jordan Zanchetta, who put it off her kick. Now just coming through with a hand pass, Marianne Anthony got it across to Jordan Zanchetta. Now they're going down the guts. The Bombers looking for Federica Frew. It was punched away from her by the defender. Getting in front and doing it very well there was Gentile. Oh, umpire says no, it's all fair. May have been against Winnie Lang. Umpire comes in and calls for a ball up. Your thoughts, Stock?
No, that should have been a free kick. Literally tried to take the tackler on and just dropped it.
Interesting interpretation, we'll call it.
Yeah, a lot interesting about that.
Peck goes up against Cornish in this contest, taken away out of the middle. This time it's gone against Batuna. Jordan Zanchetta doing the tackling.
Well, I'll tell you what, I reckon Jordan Zanchetta's just absolutely come alive in this quarter, just absolutely tackling everything that's come her way. The 5 tackles already, the 4 clearances. She's really coming to her own here.
And talk about coming into one's own. Zanchetta gave it to Federica Frew, who said, from 48.5 metres out, I am going to take one step and then unload my right boot, and I'm going to split the 2 posts.
Oh, just taking the urine, isn't she? That is just champagne football from Federica Frew. And our own Dan Hill last week, Peter, called it one of the best kicks inside 50.
Leading goal kicker in the competition.
Oh, jeez. Well,
and that's exactly why.
It made it look too easy, Di.
Absolutely. Taking full advantage of the fact that she's got that breeze behind her. It was a really good build-up then by Essendon.
Her goal sense is second to none, Fed Frew, and I just cannot speak highly enough about the work she brings inside 50 to this Essendon team.
So score at the moment, 5-1-31 for Essendon, 3 straight 18 for the Southern Saints. We're away again in the middle of the ground. The ball goes out towards the wing on the Melrose Drive side of the ground. Getting in there and get the hand pass out to Heil was originally through Caruso. The kick, though, intercepted and now taken by Winnie Lang. Winnie Lang went left, went right. Ugle came at her and almost knocked the living daylights out of her. It was taken there in the end by Wallace, who got it across to Lang, who went up the line for it to be intercepted. And taking it back there for the Bombers, I think it might be Manfrey who's just shuffled on down to defence.
I think that was Nalder, actually.
Oh, indeed it was. Thank you. As now taken there by Eloise Ashley Cooper, who gets on the right boot, goes up the line looking for Radford. Didn't get to her. Stewart gave up the hand pass. Saints going inside 50. Awkward bouncing ball at the centre forward position received by Rapari, who got it originally from Stewart, who now shuffles it around sideways. Stewart now has it. Goes for a run to get past Radford. Goes low and spearing just through her hands the intended target. Dancing around there and trying to squeeze a kick is Cormac around the corner. Didn't work out. Bombers with Ugle. Gets the hand pass. Caruso out of defence. Long on the right. Going up the line towards the middle of the ground. Bouncing football. Tierney traps it well with a one hand. Spins around on the right.
Here.
Look at this foresight. Trying to get Federica through, who couldn't trap it, so she kept the ball in front of herself. She's got a bit of a tussle here with McLean. Are your McLean showing? Now gets it across to Nixon. Nixon gets it out towards the half-back flank on the broadcast side of the ground. Saints ball at the moment, going up the line. Cormac just dropped their head going, what did I do with that kick? And she was trying to look for Rapari. And intercepted in the end by Nicole Julian from New Zealand. Choice. Now goes across to Tierney. Tierney with the football. Looking for some options. What can she do? Mia Ray Clifford was one that was leading up the line. Umpire said you got to play on. Gets on the right. Big barrel on the right going up the line, but didn't find a target. Instead picked out an opponent in Lucy Burke for the Southern Saints.
Well, you called it brilliantly, Peter. The only one that was leading towards the footy was Mia Ray Clifford. Everyone else was just standing there and just enabled the spare Saints defender to come back and take the easy mark.
Chloe Sultry now takes the football for the Southern Saints, halfback flank broadcast side. Goes up the line, juggling by Julian, couldn't quite bring it in. Ball on the deck. Hines wants to go in there, immediately wrapped up. Marshall's in there for the Bombers. And also as well is Simone Nelder. The umpire calls for a ball up. Let's get some thoughts on how this quarter's been playing out so far with Dife Island.
I think it's giving us what we thought that it probably would. Essendon are starting to show some form of dominance going with the breeze, but St Kilda aren't going to let them go. They're just, Essendon have had a number of opportunities, haven't been able to capitalise on them, and that's because St Kilda have just been able to absorb their pressure and come out and make some things happen for themselves.
Great kick there originally from Joanne Doonan, who went across to Heil. Heil went long. Ball dropped there by McLean. Federica Frew goes to ground. Can Fetty Frew get it out? She can't. She's
going to be gone.
Over. Umpire circling. Blows the whistle and calls ball up.
I mean, she dived on that, Peter. That's got to be holding the ball every day of the week.
Indeed. As the new interpretations come into play.
I think the only thing that saved her there was the fact that the St Kilda player dived on her at the same time.
As the ball is now in the feet of Mia Ray Clifford, who'll just try and snap it round the corner. A high ball. Bouncer still remains in play. How's that possible? Cornish gets absolutely ripped into the ground by Gentile, and the umpire says, pass the overdone. And that is a free kick going the way of the Saints.
Look, I'll tell you what, they've had the win this quarter and they've conceded 2 goals, but I think the Southern Saints' defensive work has been superb already this quarter.
Almost all paid, maybe a bit early on the whistle, but paid nonetheless to Renee Tierney. She's your big kick. Is she within range? Will she launch or will she pass?
I think the team first thing, you've got to put it top of the square.
50.5 metres out when she puts boot to ball. She runs to the paint. Now tries to square the footy up. A little too much juice on the kick. Ball went out the back trying to get there. Rebecca Neves. Neves on the right boot. Goes up towards a 1-on-2 situation for the Saints. And the mark is not paid. Whoa. That's stiff. Taking it there was Gabriella DeAndre. She's probably looking at the umpire and said, I had hands on that. And it will be a resulting ball up, 40 metres out from the Bombers' goal. Now to go up in the contest versus Hines. Hines won it down. Ball went out into space. Stewart immediately wrapped up there by Doonan. One-step kick by Radford is away to the left-hand side and out of bounds on the full. If you've just joined us, 5-1-31 Essendon. The Southern Saints, 3 straight 18. Bombers kicking with a 2-goal breeze advantage to the right-hand side. So we kick in from defence for the Saints. And it goes to a pack, and everyone's going to jump on top of the football. And the umpire's going to come back and say, I'll take it, please. Over the top of that pack was Laura Caruso. We'll see if we can break open the play here on the Melrose Drive side of the ground. One out there by Nelda in the end. Coming through for the Saints was Rebecca Nees. Went long. She was trying to find Tessa Boyd. Bounced off of her hand. Winnie Lang's lurking around. Ball went through her legs. Went back in again and got a shovel hand pass out to Bettina. In fact, it was Stuart Pardney who put one-step kick out towards the wing looking for DeAngelis. Caruso going with her. Ugle immediately goes to ground, wrapped up by Rapari. And the umpire comes in and calls for a ball up. Let's get some further thoughts from the doc.
So we've got less than 2 minutes to go until half-time. So I think the Saints, I think they'd be best suited just keep the stoppages going. I think they don't need to do anything cute, anything fancy. Just keep the ball in the contest.
For those watching on the VFLW YouTube stream and the live chat, we'll answer your questions at half-time. So load them up now as the kick up the line is marked by the Bombers. No, not paid, but Ugle played on quickly, gave it across to Hosking. Wobbler of a kick going up the line, putting a boot in there is Mariana Anthony. Saints going to clean it up. Lucy Burgess runs out from behind by Mia Ray Clifford. Umpire says, you're Max gone. And that is a free kick for the Bombers. Mia Ray Clifford goes straight down the line. Federica Frew, one bounce to her, and it was knocked away from her at the crucial moment. She goes in again. She's all over her opponent there in McLean. It's going to be tied up, and the umpire will call for a ball up. And the right thought there, Di Folland, just not quite the execution from Mia Ray Clifford.
No, definitely not what she was after. St Kilda appear to be playing a player loose in the back line, which is definitely aiding their efforts to tie Essendon up at the moment. And this is a nice bit of play.
And along the carpet by Cornish, and they've just shuffled it through in the end. It was almost like ice skating. Everyone was going down. Everyone was just throwing a foot in there. And a minor score, 5-2. 32, Essendon, 3 straight 18 for the Southern Saints. Saints have not scored into the breeze this quarter.
Well, I just got to say that was clever thinking from Fed Frew, just trying to keep the ball moving. Could have actually got the goal.
That means there's a shot after the siren here because it wasn't touched before it went out from defence. So there's a shot after the siren for Frew. That's a shot after the siren.
Oh, what?
That's actually a shot after the siren. The umpire's got that wrong. If the ball goes out before the siren goes, that is a free kick. That's meant to be a shot after the siren.
Did they play on?
No.
No?
So the umpire's made a blue on that one. If the ball goes out, it's a bit like we saw with the Saints got a goal at quarter time. When Ugle dropped the ball a fraction of a second before the siren, that is correct. You get the shot after
100%.
it. And this occasion, the kick from full back has come out, gone over the boundary line and out of bounds, hasn't been touched. That means a free kick to the opposition. That happened before the siren. So if that's happened before the siren, that means that should be a shot. Or free kick, whatever way you say it, I think to Federica Frew.
I think by reckoning, that is a free kick. I mean, we've seen it countless times in any grade of football, and And look, I just want to say to Fed Fruit, ask the question. The umpire gave whatever answer. I don't know. We can't read lips up here, but just after the explanation, Fed Fruit just like, okay, whatever, and just went on with it.
Just quietly for the umpire's sake, I hope it's not a close finish where Essendon get done by less than a goal. I just hope that. I just hope.
Yeah, look.
I know we're supposed to say, look, one decision doesn't make a game.
Oh, look, in a pig's eye, maybe. It's...
and Dive Island for a... No, we won't put you on that spot, Dive.
No.
We won't.
Thanks, Pete.
But look, it's a bit of a controversial end, but we'll see where we go in the second half.
Yeah, well, I think that was a really solid quarter then by Essendon.
Yeah.
It confirmed our thinking that it was about a 2-goal breeze, but I think St Kilda sacrificed a bit of offence by becoming defensive and having that. At one stage, it looked like they even had 2 players loose in defence.
110%, you're spot on, Di. I think Essendon did control a lot of that play. A couple of times there, the Saints have been able to try and move it, try and absorb that pressure. And I think defensively, the Saints were just terrific. I mean, players like Nixon just continued to spoil. Made sure players like Fedford didn't get clear air. I've liked the matchup on Burke on Clifford at stages this half, and I think, look, coming into halftime, you're Dale Robertson. You've got to be absolutely chuffed with where you're at. Yeah, you're 2 goals down, but there's a big breeze onto the right hand side of your radio dial or your screen, wherever you might be watching this game, listening to this game. But look, we'll see where the Saints stand in third quarter. They don't call it a premiership quarter for no reason.
We'll get some stats in just a moment's time from the doc. But for Dive Island, for the players that you've seen so far, who has been impressing you in this first half of football?
Look, I think Clifford's been fantastic. She's given them a target, something to work with. I'm really seriously liking the work of Danny Marshall out of the back line.
Oh, yes.
She has marshalled the troops there. We saw in that quarter when she was coming out along the half-back line and with the ball in her hands, she was going long, but she just wasn't blazing. She actually had a clear vision of where she was going, what was happening, and for the most part, she achieved what she was after. So she's giving them a great drive out of defence. Hiles had moments on the wing. It's just been a really solid game so far by all players concerned. But for mine, there are a couple of standouts.
Let's have a look at the goal kickers at half-time. For Essendon, it's 2 to Federica Frew, singles to Heil, Manfrey and Zanchetta. For the Southern Saints, it's singles to Stewart, Flanagan and Boyd. Entering your questions at half-time in the VFLW YouTube chat. In the meantime, some stats with the doc.
Well, the leading clearance getters, Hannah Stewart at the Southern Saints, 6 clearances, leading all players on the ground as well with disposals with 14 for the game. Also has 3 tackles and 4 inside 50s, leading all players on the ground for inside 50s. For the Bombers, Jordan Zanchetta leading all players in clearances with 5, also has 11 touches, 8 handballs, 6 tackles. Danielle Marshall, as you've said, absolutely a rock-solid first half in defence, 6 marks, 11 disposals, 9 kicks. Simone Nelder, 18 hit-outs, also with 5 disposals. Ashley Cooper, the 11 disposals as well. 4 clearances for Amelia Radford, and look, you're looking at the leading stats getters here. It's all Essendon at the moment, and I think and it's almost indicative of how this game's going. They're controlling the play, they're utilising their options, and the intercept work of Danielle Marshall. It reminds me of that game Anya Tai played about a month ago against Collingwood, where she just intercepted everything in sight and just absolutely ran Sabrina Frederick ragged. That's the sort of player I can see Danielle Marshall in the AFLW. I have no doubt she'll be back then next season when the Bombers come into the league. I can see Marshall, her elite athleticism, her knowledge of how the game's working is just it's just improved from when I saw her at the Dogs last season. It's the difference is chalk and cheese.
I think the big improvement for her has been a fact of, and even at Essendon, they thought about putting her maybe rotating between the ruck and 4, and she says, actually, no, I'd like to play in defence. Is that and this is kind of a problem that plagues, as you'll know, Di Fallon, from watching Lou Stevenson for all these years out of Melbourne Uni. A player that's good where they throw around everywhere, and the problem is they don't get to be their full potential because they're trying to master a different role each and every week, as opposed to when you're told, right, you're playing this one position just about almost through the year, you're able to concentrate and think about your craft work 24/7 on that position.
Absolutely. And look, Danny is very much a thinking player. she didn't make a decision to come out here to Australia and try a hand at this game lightly. She's worked very, very hard, and I think she's just absolutely relishing the fact that this year that she has a set role, and we're starting to see some really, really dominant performances from her. I mean, she is capable of playing elsewhere on the field, absolutely no doubt about that, but I think for her, knowing that she's got a role to play, and it being a role that she's familiar with from her soccer days, then I think that's really helping her, and it's definitely, her experience is definitely showing today.
And may I say, just quickly, if she does get upgraded and signed to the AFLW list, it allows, again, the fringe players, we're not talking about the absolute A-listers, but those that are middle-of-the-road fringe players at other clubs that are thinking about taking an offer of joining an expansion team like Essendon, Hawthorn, Sydney or Port Adelaide, if they see someone like Danielle Marshall as, all right, this is Essendon's rock and defence, this is their full-back, essentially, they're able, or centre-half back, they're saying, those fringe players that go, oh, I can see a role with this player. I can see where I can work around and complement this player. They can start to picture in their head, all right, this is what their defence is going to look like. This is where I can be in the team. Absolutely. We'll take this opportunity I like everyone agrees. Silence, not so much, but I like that everyone agrees.
No, I'm sorry. I was just trying to work on the computer at the moment.
We'll take this opportunity to take a break. It is Essendon 5-2-32, leading the Southern Saints 3 straight 18. We'll be back with the second half after this.
If you're after the most comprehensive coverage on women's football across Australia, then look no further than Rookie Me Central. Formerly Draft Central, Rookie Me Central has news and reviews, podcasts, videos, and much, much more on all the state leagues across the country, including the VFL Women's and NAB League Girls. Find out why everyone turns to Rookie Me Central for their women's football content. Follow Rookie Me Central on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at Rookie Me Central.
Secure transmission for your ears only.
Good day. Today, more than 110,000 Australians live with a blood cancer. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to join the Leukemia Foundation and a crack team of registered shavers from around the country to kick blood cancer's tush. We call it Mission Possible. Sign up to shave at worldsgreatestshave.com. This ad will now self-destruct.
If you've had something stolen,
or if you've had property damaged, you need the police, not the sirens. If you've lost something or found something valuable,
or if you want to register a party or let us know you're going away on holiday, you need the police, not the sirens.
When you need the police but not the sirens, you can now report these incidents online at police.vic.gov.au or call 131 444.
Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
You need to get a booster to stay up to date with your COVID-19 vaccinations. Boosters are now approved for everyone 16 years and older, 3 months after your second dose. Boosters increase your protection against becoming very sick or dying from COVID-19 and are available through your GP, pharmacist or other healthcare professional. Book your booster at australia.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
G'day, I'm Michael Caton. The Australian Conservation Foundation's Green Home program is all about saving our environment. A low-flow shower head will save 10 litres. No showering at all will save 20. So when any of my active friends are a bit on the nose, I never judge them, but thank them for doing their bit to save water.
For more information, go to www.acfonline.org.au/greenhome and take action for our future generations. That's acfonline.org.au/greenhome.
Hi, Kirk Pengilly from InXS here. And whether it's music, sweet things, puppies, movies, we all love our treats. But our eyes need treating too. 300,000 Australians, including me, are affected by glaucoma. Diagnosed early, glaucoma can be managed. Left undiagnosed, it can cause blindness. So treat yourself by treating your eyes to a simple test. Book your test at treatyoureyes.org.au today.
Bored in retirement? Join Probus. If you want more out of retirement, join your local Probus club and start having fun with like-minded people. Probus clubs are non-fundraising and purely social, so all they do is concentrate on enjoying retirement. There are hundreds of Probus clubs, with new ones opening almost every month. So find a Probus club near you today by visiting probussouthpacific.org or calling 1300 630 488.
Probus, new lease of life.
The average person spends 44 minutes a day thinking about food. At Oz Harvest, thinking about food is a full-time job because we're always looking for new ways to nourish our country and combat food waste and hunger. Every day, we rescue quality surplus food across Australia and deliver it to those who'd otherwise go hungry. And you can help. Every dollar donated to Oz Harvest can provide 2 meals to people in need. Visit ozharvest.org. Thought for food.
We'd like to show you what's dangerous about Australian rivers, but we can't. You can't see ice-cold water, snags like tree branches or strong currents, but they can be lethal. Although our rivers are beautiful, more Australians drown here than anywhere else. So please, wear a life jacket, avoid alcohol around water, never swim alone, and learn how to save a life. It's simple. Respect the river. For more information, visit royallifesaving.com.au/respect the river.
There's jumpers, hoodies, and tees for you at leaguetees.com.au.
Leaguetees.com.au is your place for retro footy gear with designs created by local artists that you won't find anywhere else. Plus, their unique range of women's footy tees help raise funds for Indigenous literacy programs. Get online and start shopping today.
Leaguetees.com.au.
Oh, hi, I'm Maria from Sesame Street.
And Elma's Elma.
And we're here to talk about driveways. Driveways can be dangerous for children.
Or little red monsters.
So it's important for parents to always watch their children around them.
Yeah, driveways are for cars, not for play.
That's right, Elmo. Play only in safe places away from driveways because people in cars may not see you.
Elmo sees you, Maria. Tag, you're it.
Here I come, Elmo. Remember, driveways are like roads. Always supervise, separate, and see. Learn more at kidsafevic.com.au.
We are the Australian Literacy and Numeracy Foundation, striving to empower our most marginalised communities through literacy and education. Literacy is having a voice. Literacy is opportunity. Literacy is dreaming big. Literacy is freedom. Today, you can help end inequality and give every child access to our life-changing and proven literacy programs. Your support is vital. Donate now at alnf.org.
Feeling a little down? Drop into the Reach Out website at reachout.com.au and let us put a spring back in your step. When times are tough, clear your head at reachout.com.au.
The commentary of the game you're currently listening to is from the volunteers at Women's Australian Rules Football Radio. Founded in 2014, WARF Radio is not just here to provide a professional call the women's game deserves, but also provide important experience for those wanting a career in sports media. If you're a past or present women's footballer or coach or a media student and you'd like to give football commentary a try, visit warfradio.com and click on volunteer. That's warfradio.com and click on volunteer.
It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
Indeed, it is the VFL Women's Match of the Day between Essendon and the Southern Saints. And quick questions, by the way, from our VFLW live chat on YouTube. James Talk, are we returning to Windy Hill once it's available? Yes, once cricket commitments are finished. I do know there's at least one game in May that is scheduled at Windy Hill for the Bombers, and there may be potentially more. Once cricket commitments are done at Windy Hill, there will be some Essendon VFLW games. And there's talk about a master plan that eventually in a few years' time, Essendon AFLW will play there. Where will the final be played? That is still to be confirmed by the league. Going by last year, originally they were going to go Icon Park, then they were going to go Northport Oval, of course, that we lost out on having a grand final. And are the grounds replicas of Marvel and the MCG? Yes, we're playing on the MCG ground. At the side is the replica of the Marvel Stadium-sized ground. And hello to Tony Julian. She is the mum of number 19, Nicole Julian, and she is watching all the way from New Zealand. Great to have her on board.
We love that.
We're about ready to get underway here for the third term 5-2-32 Essendon, 3 straight 18 to Southern Saints, and the Saints kicking with a 2-goal breeze to start this third term. Umpire blows the whistle and says that's in the back, and it's a free kick going the way of the Bombers to the former Brisbane Lions AFLW footballer Jordan Zanchetta. Zanchetta with the football. Goes on the right boot, goes up towards the forward 50. Flying through the air was Davies. And the umpire says no, the mark is going to the St Kilda player, or Southern Saints player in Alexandra Hines. Moves it out towards the wing position, trying to find Cormac out there. Turned over, Bombers ball. Hull got rid of it in the nick of time. Nelda goes up towards the centre half forward position. One bounce over the head there of Tierney. Taken by Mia Ray Clifford, who I'm not sure if she meant that or was by accident, but it turned out perfect.
I think that must be one of those corner of the eye situations where you see a player out in the side of your eye and just put on the boot, get it in her direction.
Jessie Davies has the football, kicking into the breeze, goes towards the hot spot, looking for Tierney. Bumped off the ball in the 1-on-3 at the last moment. And taken away here by the Southern Saints, and that's by Saltry. Saltry goes out towards the wing position on the broadcast side. 2-on-1, numbers favouring the Bombers. Running around and giving the hand pass there. Looks like Mariana Anthony coming in board. Quick chain of handballs to Morecambe, who went without it. Has to go back in for a second crack at it. Rapari all over her. It's going to be locked in, and we'll call for a ball up and get some early thoughts from the dock.
Well, it's it's going to be interesting to see where the Southern Saints are at in this third quarter. I mean, already they conceded an inside 50 to the Bombers, and the clearance work already very, very handy in favour of the Bombers as well. So, look, very, very interesting times ahead.
One out by Nelda, ball hit the ground immediately. Zanchetta wants to go in there and lay a tackle out to Petuna, who got spun around. Eloise Ashley Cooper in there fighting for the football. Couldn't extract the pill. Hand pass comes out now to Anthony, who now has to go backwards with a hand pass. Looks for the 1-2. Mariana Anthony on the left boot, round the corner, trying to find Nicole Gillian. Hi, Tony. Now has the football. Ball hit the ground. Taken by her opponent on that occasion by Rebecca Neves. Gives off one-step kick up the line. Was trying to find Rapari.
Oh, good tackle.
Play on. Eloise Ashley Cooper is brought down the ground, and the umpire says that is holding the football.
That was a very solid tackle. There was no way known she was getting out of that one.
I reckon she came from about 7 metres deep to try and lay that tackle, and what an amazing work ethic.
Kaylee Rapari, the absolute wheel clamp on that one.
Wish I could say the same about the kick.
Commentators curse. We praise her, and it's gone straight down the throat of an opponent, Cecilia McIntosh. McIntosh goes towards centre half forward, looking for Renee Tierney, held according to the umpire. So Renee Tierney, 60-65 metres out from home, kicking into the breeze to the ball at hell end. Left of your vision on YouTube. Now going long, looking for Mia Ray Clifford. Had to beat out Lucy Burke. Mia Ray Clifford with the snap. How does it look towards the top of the goal square? Awkward bouncing ball. Trapped by Talia Meyer. And Meyer's going to run away. Take one bounce in front of the scoreboard. Calls for players to come to her. Goes with a kick. It had to be good. Just bounced off the chest of Saltry. Lost control of the football. Went back. Saints balls though. Coming out through Nikki Wallace. Goes out towards centre wing position. Broadcast side. Intercepted by Morecambe for the Bombers. Morecambe now goes up between centre wing and half forward flank. Plenty of numbers there with the red and black. Taken away by Nelda. Nelda is going in the direction of Tierney. Tierney will pick it off the ground. Give it across to Radford. Radford now kicks it and squares it up for Cecilia McIntosh. Cecilia McIntosh, I tell you what, Di Filan, despite what her height may say on paper, she always plays a couple of inches taller.
And that was a classic example of that. She's well and truly outclassed height-wise by her opponent there, but just used her body so well to make sure she got that ball.
Tried to go with a floater over the top to Mia Ray Clifford and just fell short of her, which saw two Saints players jump on her and call for the ball up. Maya, one of them in there, and the other one just getting up and dusting herself off there. Alexandra Hines. And a free kick paid against her.
I was just going to say, it's interesting that Cecilia McIntosh's got the red tape across her chin. So that's interesting. I've never seen red tape strapped over a player's mouth before.
There's the kick along for the Bombers. Backing back there. Meyer got one in the back. Umpire said play on. McIntosh with the smothering work on that occasion. Ball spilled out. Trying to weave through. Nikki Wallace gave off the hand pass. One step kick by Stewart. Now going with a long kick and managing to find Taylor Kearns. Kearns elected to play on. Maybe not the smartest thing to do. Put a teammate in Petuna under pressure. Petuna had to get away from Nelda. Grab a kick now going towards centre half forward. Managing to run around is Winnie Lang. Lang goes to an empty forward pocket. It's a 2-on-1 race here. How's it going to set for Flanagan? Flanagan got it. Flanagan back. No, not enough.
She backed herself beautifully there.
Oh, we had the perfect angle as well. That looked like it was going to go straight through too.
And the breeze, just the last second, just gave a little woof to put it to the wrong side of the goalpost. 3-1-19 the Southern Saints, 5-2-32 the Bombers, as Hoskin comes from full back to Danielle Marshall.
Tell you what, she's looked very dangerous today, Olivia Flanagan. Anytime the ball's coming in a general direction, she's looking like she's making things happen.
Joanne Doonan for the Bombers now goes towards the half-back flank position. Tierney went charging out towards the football. Hit the deck. Radford over the top, asking the question and holding the ball, according to the umpire.
Oh, jeez.
Hot on the whistle now.
Red hot.
Now ending up with it is Winnie Lang. Winnie Lang now squares the football. Rapari!
Oh, that's a mark.
You could just sense it coming. There may have been two Bombers, but Rapari was taking flight going, I am going to read this ball perfectly.
How was the double take? The strength to it just barged through the player standing in the way, and then the focus to just get that on the second take. That's a great grab. This is a big kick here for the Saints.
Kayla Rapari will be huge if she gets this one. Might be worth a double cobra as well. Comes in. How does it look? It looks pretty good.
Give me a double cobra.
Kayla Rapari, big mark, big goal for the Southern Saints. 4-1-25. They trail Essendon 5-2-32. Your thoughts on that, Dife Island?
That's exactly what they needed at this point in the game. I noticed they seem to be playing a couple of players back in Essendon's 50. So to have the opportunity then to have play slow enough for the players to get down, it just allowed them those few extra options to work with and finished off very nicely.
That's the sort of play that can turn a game on its head, I reckon. And just the fact that she just backed herself in to take that mark. The set shot was just a beauty as well. Just a straight run up, solid, and the boots of ball just absolutely seamless.
Umpire with the ball back in the middle of the ground will throw it up in the air and away we go again. Hines wins out in the contest versus Cornish, who didn't jump for it. Stewart goes in there, legged on the way through as McIntosh, who, mummified at the moment with the tape across the mouth. They gave away the hand pass. Now Ugle comes in there. Ugle gets spun around, this time by Buchan. Umpire says play on. Saints ball at the moment. The wheel clamp was put on. Now Stewart gets the kick around the corner. Stewart towards the half-forward flank on the broadcast side. Doonan's got a run. She had Flanagan on her tail. Button me was Caruso. Caruso got it across to Crook. Crook now comes in board with a kick. Was looking for McIntosh, but there was three Saints players around and they could raffle it. Now going to Winnie Lang, who marks in front of Mariana Anthony. Winnie Lang with the football between centre and centre half-forward. You feel that the Saints have got some mojo at the moment. She gets close to the player on the mark. May have miscued the kick. Went through a few sets of hands. Flanagan wants to give off the hand pass. Running player through, missed it. One step kick around the corner. Job by Batuna. Away and over the boundary line and out of bounds. And we'll call for a throw in 1 metre around from the right-hand point post.
Well, that's not bad from the Southern Saints. They get a stoppage. They don't get Essendon getting the ball straight back off the turnover. So we saw it in the first quarter with Hannah Stewart off the stoppage. Let's see what they do here.
The Saints looking to close the gap here. They've got the 2-goal breeze this term. Almost feels like a 3-goal breeze. As the ball is spun back into play. High comes in, but short of both rucks. The ball hits the ground. Cornish missed out on it. Coming in there is Doonan, is immediately claimed.
Oh, it's
and
a
the
throw.
umpire says throwing the football.
Geez, I reckon there was a couple of throws in that passage of play, but geez, Tessa Boyd's got the footy now.
She got the winning raffle ticket, and she's already got one this afternoon. She'll be looking for her second and kicking from 27.5 metres out.
Becomes a one-kick game if she puts it through.
Almost directly in front. And big mojo with the Saints if she can split the sticks. In she comes. Hesitant in the run-up. But it doesn't matter. She's got the goal. Tessa Boyd has 2 for the afternoon. The Saints go to 5-1-31, trailing Essendon 5-2-32. Some thoughts from the doc and then Dife Island.
I was just going to say before I go to you, Di, I think the Saints look so much better when they're just playing direct footy, and obviously the breeze plays a big hand to that. But they're catching the Bombers unawares with their long ball movement.
Look, their place has seemed a lot more confident going with the breeze than when they were defending against it. And you're right, they just look so much better when they're bang straight down. Bang, straight down. it's going to be a very, very interesting tussle from here.
1 point ball game here at the hangar. We've got a classic here on the VFLW round 5. Trying to come out of that contest there was Batuna, stubbed her toe. She tried to get the kick away. Also there is Hines, didn't work out for her. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on as Doonan got in there and immediately wrapped up. And the umpire says holding the football for diving on it. Whew. Hot on the whistle at the moment. Saints ball, and they've got a runner out there, and it might be Winnie Lang who's going out towards the half-forward flank. Mariana Anthony going with her at the moment. Winnie Lang trying to dance around, got the hand pass before being claimed. Caruso, the ball got past her for the Bombers. Going in there is Hines as well, wrestling with Anthony. It's all tied up, and the umpire says no opportunity. We'll call for a ball up.
I'll tell you what, I reckon there might be a few Bombers fans that reckon the umpires are getting the Saints back in this game, and I think they might have a case here because they're just sort of... They're red hot on these holding the ball calls. I think they're a bit stiff.
Now Nicole Julian received it from Anthony. The one kick up the line is trapped there by Winnie Lang. Lang now tries to square the football up, and Heil went straight through her hands. Also nearby is Taylor Kearns for the Southern Saints. Bombers do have numbers back there.
Gone.
Crook got caught trying to handball. Golden rule, don't handball in defence. And Tessa Boyd, I think, has got it. And she's electing to play on quickly. Boyd goes for distance, doesn't get the accuracy. In fact, pardon me, it was not Boyd, it was Kearns. Kearns missing there. Makes it 5-2-32 apiece. Dyke Island, we're all locked up.
We are, and I tell you what, I'm really liking the look of Winnie Lang at the moment. She's having a big say in what's going on in there in the forward line. Getting front and centre and getting lots of possessions at the moment.
Danielle Marshall not launching from fullback, but going with a nice little executed pass over the top to Kendra Heil. She's got to be accurate with the kick, looking for Doonan. Doonan got beaten out in the contest. It came out in the end to Wallace. Wallace gave it off to
What
knees.
a play.
Beautiful hit up. And taking the mark is Gabriella DeAngelis, Doc, with a chance to put the Saints in front.
Well, that ball had to be delivered to Neves on the outside because she had that run on the outside beautifully, and the delivery as well was just fantastic. This for the lead.
Gabriella DeAngelis looking for her first of the afternoon. And
Goal.
She puts the Saints a goal up. 6-2-38 Southern Saints. Essendon 5-2-32.
I think she started that beautifully on the boot. It started left goalpost, maybe a fraction left of the left-hand goalpost, and the wind just carried it to the right beautifully. And what a great 5 minutes from the Saints here. Their pressure's up. They're tackling well. They've set up beautifully inside their forward half. They're just doing all the things that's got them to top 4 at the moment.
And we did say at the start of the game that there was a distinct possibility we might see some lead changes at some stage, and they're certainly not letting us down in that regard.
Umpire with the ball back in the middle of the ground as we restart play again here on the third term. WARFradio.com, 89.1 FM at the ground, delay free, and on the VFLW YouTube stream. Taken out by now across to Radford. Umpire says throw again, and it's going to be another Saints free kick. And this time it's going to end up in the hands of Nikki Wallace. Wallace, originally from the Lions AFLW, then went down to Williamstown, spent some time at North Melbourne, now here at the Southern Saints. Her side up by goal at the moment with this 2-3 goal breeze going towards the right-hand side off screen. Gets on the right boot, going long in the direction of Amelia Peck. Got knocked away from her. Kayla Rapari tries to take them on.
Hands.
Gets the hand pass away to Batuna. Batuna going inside 50. Came off hands. McIntosh now in defence, chasing after the football with DeAngelis. And that's interesting. The move has been made. McIntosh out of the forward line to the back line.
Well, they've got to do something because they're just getting absolutely towed around the contest and clearances. I reckon Alexandra Hines has had an immense third term so far.
We wait for the ball to be thrown back into play. 25 metres around from the Southern Saints goal. The ball floats in the breeze. One out by Nelda on this occasion. Going in there with the ruck work is Amelia Peck. Gave off the hand pass. Kick around the corner by Grace Buchan. Buchan dead well.
What
lost
hands!
a player. Now going through the bleed. Hello, Wilbur. Hit the woodwork. Minor score. Saints' biggest lead of the game, mind you. 6-3-39. Essendon 5-2-32.
Their fast hands have been really killing Essendon. They're slicing them open with their quick hands, just setting them up either out wide or just sort of that short 45 hand pass. They're just opening them up every chance.
Danielle Marshall says, stuff the cute kicks, I'm going the bomb. And she comes out of defence with a long kick. And they were looking for Ugle, smacked away by Grace Bucket over the boundary line and out of bounds. And is it me or is this breeze really picking up?
Yeah, no, my hair's all over the place at the moment. It's, yeah, I reckon it's almost turning into a 3-goal breeze, as you said, Peter.
I'd ask about if her hair's going all over the place with Di Filan, but she's got the short haircut going at the moment. As we wait for the ball to be thrown back into play. Visual gags, they work marvellously on radio. As it's now taken away by Neld out of the contest. Wrapping up there is Jolliffe. Ball spilled out. Saints ball. Hurry kick inside 50. Maybe brought to ground. Flanagan without it. Umpire said it was fair play on. Gave it across to Nikki Wallace. Wallace tries to bend it around the corner and Marshall just fends it away like a diving goalkeeper for a minor score. 6-4-40 the Saints. The Bombers 5-2-32.
Are you sure she didn't play goalkeeper when she was playing in the US?
No,
Peter?
no, a positional spot.
Yeah, that's brilliant defensive positioning. That was almost a certain goal too.
Ball from Marshall's boot to go long. A good 50 metres out of defence into the breeze. Looking for Mia Ray Clifford. Bucking going with her. Ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds. Let's get some thoughts on how this is playing out and the Saints' momentum with Dife Island.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from them. I know I mentioned it before, but nothing in the last 5 minutes has changed that. They're back to playing confident football again.
As the ball is thrown back into play, it will just fall short of both rucks. Doonan goes in to try and pick it up, feeds it out using Eloise Ashley Cooper to Radford. Radford coming back. She's using Caruso. Caruso goes out towards the centre wing position. Bouncing football at the moment. Picked up well there for the Southern Saints. Getting the kick away while under pressure was Buchan. Went inside 50. Well weighted kick to Flanagan. Flanagan has the football outside 50. And 50-metre penalty for encroaching into the zone.
Well, this is going to be a certain goal now, and geez, I tell you what's Brendan Major thinking down there in the coach's box? He'd be absolutely furious that he's given that the players are just giving away just silly free kicks.
And going and kicking a goal there is Olivia Flanagan, and that is her second of the day, and it goes out to 7-4-46 for the Southern Saints. Essendon 5-2-32.
Well, we've got less than 4 minutes to go until three-quarter time, Di, and I just want to know what are you thinking if you're Brendan Major? What changes do you do to just try and stem that momentum? Because right now the Saints are just going gung-ho forward of the ball.
You're right, and Essendon are looking seriously rattled. I think this break can't happen quickly enough for Major and his team. I think he needs to get them in, sit them down, talk to them about the things that they have done well, get all this bad stuff out of their heads and get them back to playing the footy they played in the first half, because that was looking good.
Umpire throws the ball in the air and we restart again. One out by Naldo, picked out of the contest immediately there by Knees for the Southern Saints. Kicks it, just missed Flanagan on that occasion. Trying to push her way through was Taylor Kearns. She's fighting in hard with the football with Elizabeth Hosking. Kearns is still fighting for it. Ends up in the hands of the goal, Julian. Julian looking for Courtney Ugle. Ugle takes the mark, half-back flank in front of Winnie Lang. Melrose drives side of the ground. Umpire gives the play on call. She gets on the right boot, goes up the line on this occasion. And strong mark taken there for the Southern Saints. Right in the distance. Kicking the football now. Looks like it's Ebony Nixon. Tries to square it up, but taken by Cornish to McIntosh. McIntosh with a little Texas wedge kick over the top, finding Amelia Radford. Amelia Radford with the ball for the Bombers.
I've just got to play out time here, Essendon, and they can't afford another goal here, otherwise they'll be playing catch-up in the final term.
And here's the kick, and Mia Ray Clifford has worked a long way up the ground, and she takes it the half-back flank. Mia Ray Clifford. She wants to go with a pass to Zanchetta. Under pressure, takes it with Hines on a hammer. Zanchetta now going zigzag, wants to come inboard. Courtney Ugle gets pushed over. On the ground, going with her. May have been Dyson. The umpire blows the whistle and says, "I'll ask for the football back, please."
Well, look, I don't mind this chip possession play from Essendon at the moment. It's late in the quarter. They've just got to stop the Saints from getting their hands on the ball, because every time they're getting their hands on the ball, they're doing something. They're just doing something with it. It's just almost everything they're doing is destroying the Essendon defence.
Hines kicks it inside 50. McIntosh beats out Flanagan and gets on the right boot. She kicks it up towards the centre wing position. Mark taken out there by Joanne Doonan. Doonan wants to come inboard to Zanchetta. Zanchetta takes the mark in front of Rapari. Zanchetta has a player in Mariana Anthony with some space, and she's got a player working to her left. She's got a player screaming for it. Can she run onto the bounce cleanly? She does. Hosking with the football. Wants to deliver inside 50. He's got Tierney on here. Got knocked away from her at the crucial moment, though. Going through there is Winnie Lang. Rapari there as well. Stripped out of her hands. And the umpire comes in and says, dropping the football. Pate against Rapari. And Renee Tierney.
40 seconds to go, Pate.
She has the football. She is about 50 metres out from goal. We'll test her with this kick. McIntosh is trying to create some space there, was Mia Ray Clifford. That lead was ignored. She went long for the top of the goal square. It came off hands. Whoops, overrunning the football there was Nikki Cormack. Umpires come in.
That's high.
And high. And that is a free kick to the Bombers.
That's a good call from the umpire because it went down low, tried to absorb the contact, and the Saints player just caught over the shoulder.
Federica Frew, 45-degree angle, 35 metres out, kicking into the breeze. The umpire reminding her that you cannot come around and improve the angle because the siren is gone. You must kick straight line.
If there's ever a bigger kick in football, this is it.
Unless you're Buddy Franklin, then you're allowed to bend the angle. As in comes Federica Frew, looking for goal number 3, kicking to the Bullant Hill end. She comes in and pushes it well across the face. In fact, it clipped the bottom of the point post out of bounds on the fall. So the Southern Saints, they take a 14-point lead into three-quarter time over the so far undefeated Bombers. 7-4-46 to 5-2-32. Di Filan, the gauntlet's been thrown down.
It certainly has. Robinson talked about pressure at the start of the game, and the Saints are bringing it to bear. They're really playing good, solid pressure football. They had Essendon second-guessing themselves that quarter.
100%, and we said it already. Their directness with the wind is just really it's just put the Bombers defenders on the back foot. They just don't know what they're doing. Forward pressure wise, the Saints were terrific. That was literally some of the best forward pressure I've seen from the Saints all season. And I tell you what, we're going to find out a lot about this Essendon team. We know they're without Nanscawen and without Sarah Ford, and probably without a few other players that I think might be in their best 22. But they've still got a plethora of first choice players in this team, and I'm looking to a few of them to stand up in this last quarter.
In my opinion, no excuses. They were more than 2 goals up at half time.
That's it.
So if you don't get the job done now, you're not worthy of it.
The miss from Frew there in just after the siren, that's a bad miss because she kicks the goal. It's an 8-point game, and the Bombers can easily turn that around. Now with the miss, it's a 14-point game. And we've seen the Saints, they kicked 4 goals with the win. The Bombers only kicked 2 in the second quarter. And we've seen the Saints, they absorbed that pressure so well in the second term. It's going to be a grandstand finish, I reckon.
I think it is, and I think what we will see is more of Saints dropping back into the Essendon forward line.
100%.
Yes, it means it's sacrificing their offence, but it's giving them that red-hot shot of bringing the points home.
We'll be back with the stats on the other side of this.
The commentary of the game you're currently listening to is from the volunteers at Women's Australian Rules Football Radio. Founded in 2014, WARF Radio is not just here to provide a professional call the women's game deserves, but also provide important experience for those wanting a career in sports media. If you're a past or present women's footballer or coach or a media student and you'd like to give football commentary a try, visit WARFradio.com and click on volunteer. That's WARFradio.com and click on volunteer.
No matter what your age, most of us played sport when we were young, and there was always one thing that made you want to disappear into the corner or even give up your chosen sport. And that was when somebody on the sideline hurled abuse at either you or a teammate or an official. These are things that make sports so painful for so many kids, and the time has come to stop it. I'm Usman Khawaja from the Australian cricket team. My message is a simple one. Let kids be kids. Let them enjoy their sport. Find out more at playbytherules.net.au.
You need to get a booster to stay up to date with your COVID-19 vaccinations. Boosters are now approved for everyone 16 years and older, 3 months after your second dose. Boosters increase your protection against becoming very sick or dying from COVID-19 and are available through your GP, pharmacist or other healthcare professional. Book your booster at australia.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Secure
transmission, for your ears only.
Good day. Today, more than 110,000 Australians live with a blood cancer. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to join the Leukemia Foundation and a crack team of registered shavers from around the country to kick blood cancer's tush. We call it Mission Possible. Sign up to shave at worldsgreatestshave.com. This ad will now self-destruct.
It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
And welcome back here to the hangar in Tullamarine, where the Southern Saints 7-4-46 lead Essendon 5-2-32. Before our stats, quickly hello to Darren Moore, who's joined us online and watching, and Dan Dinkin as well. Matty Plays, Jeremy Ryan as well, watching this telecast via the VFLW YouTube channel. Let's get some stats breakdown from that third quarter and the game so far, mind you, with the Doc.
Well, inside 50s, 25-18 in favour of the Saints. Clearances +2 in favour of Essendon, 22-20. Marks +20 in favour of Essendon, 44-24. And just some of the leading players on the ground. Just getting the stats up here. Hannah Stewart leading all comers on the ground, 16 disposals, 6 clearances. Jordan Zanchetta at the Bombers, 6 clearances, 6 tackles, 14 disposals, 1 goal. Also, I should mention Hannah Stewart with her goal as well in the first term. Danielle Marshall, 7 marks, 14 disposals. And Alexandra Hines, 6 disposals, 5 tackles, 15 hitouts. I thought she was immense in that third quarter. Just set up everything pressure-wise.
And ball taken immediately out of the middle by the Southern Saints. It's by Deanna Jolliffe, the captain, who kicks it out towards the centre wing on the Melrose Drive side of the ground. Morecambe comes in to pick it up with the Bombers. It's a hot hand pass. They get it eventually to Nelda. Nelda gets it across to Caruso. Caruso coming inboard. Empty setter. Who wants to try and get there first? Davis was coming in. Lane got it originally for the Saints. Ripped down by Cecilia McIntosh. Cecilia says, my ball, thanks. And she'll take it. She'll look for some options. Renee Tierney's offering the lead. Goes in that direction towards centre half forward. Too much juice on the kick. Read best by Ebony Nixon. Nixon with the football. Has a player on side. She says, calm it down, cool your jets. She's trying to hint that, hey, we're up, we don't have to play fast football. And she elects to go up the line with the kick. Was trying to find Winnie Lang. Lang being warned there by Nelda, and the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. And we'll have a throw in right in front of our broadcast spot.
Well, you can't. Well, I get the sentiment, but you can't go playing safe footy 30 seconds into the last quarter. It's not going to hold. Like you've got to try and just look for the short passes. Do what Essendon tried to do in that first quarter. Just play it in numbers. Run it up the ground. You've got 20 minutes to really assert yourself on this Bombers team.
Throw against Radford, free kick to Hannah Stewart. Hannah Stewart goes up the line. Marshall tries to put the hand in there. Mariana Anthony immediately caught by Jolliffe. Got the hand pass away. Now coming through is Winnie Lang for the Southern Saints. Goes sky high with the kick. Almost swallowed up there. DeAngelis goes in there. Can't quite pick up the footy. Now coming out with it is Hosking for the Bombers. She wants to come inboard and take the game on. Looking for McIntosh. Slipped through her hands. Jessie Davies picks it up. Wants to get the don't argue. Spun around and around and around. Got the hand pass away. McLean not pay. Would be frustrated with that. In goes Hannah Stewart. She tries to feed the football out to Nikki Wallace. Wallace under pressure going with Eloise Ashley Cooper. Knocks her away from the ball. Mariana Anthony chased after it. It's over the boundary line and out of bounds. Wow, this is going to be one heck of a final quarter, Dife Island.
It certainly is. It's shaping up to be everything that we anticipated during the break, and let's see what the Saints can do from here.
Ball comes out of defence. Out of the boundary line, now picked up there by the one and only Winnie Lang, who got across to Stewart. Mariana Anthony now to Nelda. Now to kicks it up the line, only to be intercepted, and running away with it is Buchan. Buchan on the boot, goes towards the half-forward flank position, trying to find Peck. Now going in there, Winnie Lang. She immediately dispossessed. Eloise Ashley Cooper was in there. Morecambe along the ground, only far as Hines. Hines for the Saints, got a player on the middle of the ground. Oh, went over Buchan's head. Hines has to go back. Mia Ray Clifford goes in there as well. She's trying to hold up the football. They're scrapping for it on the ground. Hines goes in there. Came out, Bombers ball. Radford almost threw it out there. Ball on the deck once more. Radford gets second crack at it. Kicks it in the direction of Cecilia McIntosh. Meyer went with her. Meyer picks up the football. Could get run down. Got her hand pass away in the nick of time to Winnie Lang, who got knocked off her kick. 2-on-1. McIntosh went in there. there, managed to do the spoiling work. Meyer comes through for the Saints and gets away from Mia Ray Clifford.
Good work by Talia Meyer.
Goes towards the half-back flank. Awkward bouncing ball. Grace Buchan picks it up. Buchan's got to get around trouble. She goes with a hand pass. She went into trouble. Remember, you don't handball in the back line.
Get
now
it
going
out.
up there is Caruso. DeAngelis on her hammer. Got it to Zanchetta. Zanchetta got caught. She went with a hand pass. Hot football at the moment. Buchan goes in there. Can't pick it up. Caruso goes to ground. Going in there is Radford. Radford on the right boot. Wants to set something up. Player goes to ground.
That
in
was
the
a push.
back.
That was a push.
In the back.
Perfect positioning by the umpire there to see that call.
Bombers free kick to Jessie Davies. Looking for her first of the day. 45-degree angle, maybe a bit tighter, and she will be kicking from just inside the paint, but with a 2 to 3 goal breeze behind her. Jessie Davies looks a bit hesitant. She was thinking about the pass, and you can tell by the kick. Will just go through for a minor score because she was a bit half-hearted on it. 5-3-33 Essendon, 7-4-46 the Southern Saints. Some thoughts from the dock and then Dyfe Island.
Well, I think the Southern Saints' pressure has been absolutely phenomenal in the early goings of this quarter. If you want to chew minutes down, that's how you do it. Just keep the ball going, manic pressure. Just keep the ball alive any chance you can, and don't let the Bombers get their hands on any easy footy.
Absolutely agree with that 100%.
Ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Highland, Ashley Cooper there as well as Willie Lang, and we'll throw the ball in right in front of where I'm standing in our broadcast position, level 3 here at the hangar. We'll wait for the ball to be thrown back into play. Bit of pushing and shoving going on the ruck. Hines versus Cornish. Cornish had it, but she immediately got wrapped up. We'll call for a ball up. 13-point lead to the Southern Saints. And a free kick has been pulled out. Pointed one way, then pointed the other way, and said free kick going the way of Hines.
What was that for?
Maybe took the ball straight out of the ruck and then got claimed. Maybe, I don't know. Now Ashley Cooper goes with a hand pass backwards. Tie football at the moment. Hosking there. Now coming through at the moment is Nikki Wallace. Wallace kicked around the corner. Went over the head of Crook on that occasion. High, says the umpire. Paid against Carla Rapari, going to Alex Morecambe.
Well, not much Rapari could have done about that. I mean, that was just a high impact. Just had nowhere else to go and just had to take the contact.
We remind you that Essendon have never beaten the Southern Saints in the VFLW. Will they break the duck, or will the stranglehold from the Saints continue? Ball is dropped. Lang goes in there. Cornish and Mariana Anthony. And again, we call for a ball up. 60 metres out from the Bombers' goal. Going to right of screen. 2 to 3 goal breeze at their back. The umpire throws it in the air. Coming through there and couldn't get onto it was Neves. Ball dribbles inside the Bombers' forward 50. Buchan got the kick away, then got put on a Khyber pass. Kicks, bounces over the boundary line. Lasso rule, free kick. Going the way of Caruso for the Bombers. Lauren Caruso has the footy. She is about 65 metres out from home. Broadcast side.
Got a spare behind the ball here, the Saints.
Goes with a short pass, maybe not that flash. Mariana Anthony immediately wrapped up. Her opponent's got her in Winnie Lang. And the umpire says, I'll take the footy back. 52 metres out from the Bombers' goal. They trail by 13 points. Up in the air. Cornish jumped early. Peck brought it to ground. Tapping it forward there was Neves. Close to the boundary line. Lasso rule. Free kick.
This is the confusing thing about the lasso rule. If it's under pressure, it's got to be a stoppage, surely.
As it's now a free kick for the Bombers. Umpire gives the hurry up. High kick by Doonan. Going inside 50. Davies, 2-on-1. Numbers up the back. Touched against McLean. McLean got the hand pass. Now using Peck. Peck coming in forward to Meyer. Meyer quickly put it on the boot. Eloise Ashley Cooper chasing after the football. Going with her is Taylor Kurtz as well. Ball on the ground. Hosking wanted to go in there. Cornish immediately wrapped up by Rapari. And the umpire calls for a ball up. Dyfe Island no side giving an inch.
I tell you
They're
what.
not, but this is certainly... This style of play at the moment is certainly favouring the Saints. They're not giving Essendon a chance to get the ball and do anything with it.
The composure from Georgia McLean this quarter has been absolutely sensational.
Now taking the football is Amelia Peck looking for Rapari. Rapari trying to control it. 2 Bombers down her throat, and one of them is cornered. Is it high? No, according to the umpire. Spinning around. Quick hand pass. That was originally from Boyd to Neves. Neves up the line. Spoiling work is done. Mariana Anthony caught immediately by Winnie Lang. Puts it aground, and the clock keeps ticking away, and it's doing the Southern Saints massive favours.
Well, we're 8 minutes in, Peter Holden, and I think every stoppage that the Saints do, it's just a small win for them.
The ball goes up in the middle. Through the legs, nutmeg there was Hannah Stewart. Winnie Lang's waiting out the back. Mariana Anthony goes in. Ball, no, holding the ball. And which way? Saints way.
Oh, yeah. These umpires have been red hot this second half, Peter.
No, he pointed one way, then the other way.
Oh, come on.
I hate it when umpires point one way, then the other way.
Well, we know where they're heading next week, Peter.
Mariana Anthony with the football. How has it? Kicks it. Going to and taking the mark, Joanne Doonan. Doonan with the football. Centre wing, broadcast side. Gets on the right. Goes towards the half-forward flank, trying to get to it, and tapping it over the boundary line is Olivia Manfrey, which means it's a throw-in.
I love the way that the Saints are set up here. They're just sort of, they've spaced out within about maybe 50 metres of where the ball is, and I think you look at that this is why the Bombers aren't getting any easy looks, because they've covered out all the exits beautifully, the Saints.
Saints player got falconed in that contest by the footy. Joanne Doonan lays the tackle. Batuna, the one who got falconed, now kicks it in towards the middle of the ground.
Oh, well done.
Oh, excellent work by DeAngelis. Kicks it out into open space. Wanting to run onto the football is Tessa Boyd. Crook going with her. Boyd's got to try and sell some candy. Gave it, don't argue. Got the kick away. Came back in board looking for Batuna. Mariana Anthony going with her. Hurry kick inside 50. And guess who's back there? It's Danielle Marshall. She goes through and says, I'm going long down the line. I'm looking for Cecilia McIntosh. Almost taken by Meyer. Meyer dropped it, got it back, went with a hand pass. Federica Frew came in there. Now here comes McIntosh. Wants to get it to Frew. The hand pass wasn't that flash, but Frew did enough. Kicks it inside 50. Bouncing ball 2 on 2 of the numbers at the moment. Are they going to look for the boundary line? That's the question. Desi Davies immediately wrapped up by McLean and by Gentile. And the umpire says, I'll take the footy back.
That's again Georgia McLean just getting into the right spot there, making sure that they don't get any easy disposals here, the Bombers.
Ball
great defence.
Thrown up quickly. Peck versus now does Cheddar from behind. Now, is it gone? Is it in the back? Umpire says gone for holding.
That was just a delayed holding the ball call there. I'm shocked that didn't get paid right on the tackle.
Hannah Stewart with the ball with the Saints. Deep in defence. Got a player unmarked and short, and that is Rebecca Neves.
She's played a hell of a game, Hannah Stewart.
Neves at the moment looking up the line. Swings on the right boot. Kicks it up the guts. And guess who takes it? Simone Nauta for the Bombers. She's 70 metres out from home. Gets on the right boot. Goes inside 50. Looking for Frew. Spoil work from behind by Gentile. Lucy Burke with the hand pass. Mia Raycliffe and Joanne Doonan came in to do the tackling. And the umpire calls for a ball back. I just feel at the moment no one's taken on the Nanscawen role for Essendon of just getting the ball and running it down through the middle of the contest.
Well, you're seeing Jordan Zanchetta trying to do it, but she's getting double teamed and triple teamed out of stoppage, and it's just I'm not seeing anybody else. And I think the omission of Sarah Ford today has been crucial as well.
Absolutely, as Frew tries to go in there, goes Heil, and the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. 13-point lead to the Southern Saints. Let's get some thoughts on how this game's playing out with Dyfe Island. Speechless.
I'm absolutely lost for words. It's this is an incredible game of football, and St Kilda at the moment are doing everything right.
Taken away by Hannah Stewart, kicked it around on the right boot towards the half-back flank position. Guess what? It's going to be end up at half-forward because it was Marshall got it to Zanchetta, who had to go backwards to Julian, who goes with a short little kick. Dinky kick to Morecambe, is under pressure. Got it to Marshall. Marshall spinning high kick. McIntosh flew through the air, couldn't quite swallow it up.
What
now
a
they've
hand
got a
pass.
player on the outside in Heil. Heil goes. She'll have 2 for the day.
What a handball.
Kendra Heil has 2, and the Bombers get one back. They now move to 6-3-39. They trail by 7 points. The Southern Saints 7-4-46. Game on.
That's a critical piece. That's a critical play of the game there, because I think the Saints, they've just held up tremendously with their defensive work, structurally wise, playing that spare behind the ball as well. Just great width as well from Kendra Heil, just to maintain, not get sucked into the ball. We see too many players that do that, especially on a wing, but they are well disciplined, these wingers.
Absolutely, and it's definitely game on now. This is where we really will get to see what the Saints have got.
Umpire has the football in the middle of the ground. Crucial clearance coming up here as the umpire throws it high in the air. One out by Nelda. Who's going to try and get to it? It's Radford who spun around in a circle. Gave it to Eloise Ashley Cooper. Had to do some dancing. Got it trying to look for Zanchetta. Batuna got involved. McIntosh there as well. Saints ball. Jolliffe goes out to Meyer. Meyer swings around towards centre wing on the Melrose Drive side of the ground. Caruso committed to the contest, but it allowed space for DeAngelis to pick it up. He went towards the half-forward flank, now half-back flank. Marshall claims it. No, says the umpire. No, she does pay it now. That's a very delayed whistle.
Come on, Ubs.
That was a solid effort by Marshall at the ball there.
She's had some
thoroughly deserved.
Had some huge moments in this last quarter, Danny Marshall. Just her positioning, just making sure that the ball doesn't get past her.
How's the roost on this kick? Marshall going towards the half-forward flank. Tierney from behind. Moser opponent into the ground, but it will be counted sling because it was head first.
Yeah, either that or in the back. Take your pick. I reckon she just jumped on her.
And we are calling for time to be stopped, I believe. Player down seriously and feeling worse for wear. Now, blew the time on, but she hasn't blown the double whistle yet, so the clock is still technically ticking. As we speak, trainers coming out. It was Tierney with the tackle. And you would suggest with opponents going head into the ground, Tierney might be looking at a week or two off once the match review officer or match review panel has a look at it. There's the double whistle, so that means clock's officially stopped. So if you're keeping clock at home, the clock is officially stopped due to the player for the Southern Saints.
Looks like it might be Nixon that's down.
They're just checking her neck area, the physio and doc, to make sure everything's okay. She is getting up, which is good news. And that is number 8, yes, Ebony Nixon. Feels her head, probably going to at least have a Panadol. And will run off the ground. So at the moment, the clock is frozen until the umpire blows time on again.
Well done from Tierney as well. Gave her a pat in the back as well as she was coming off as well, just letting her know that she was okay. Of course, nothing malicious in that tackle. I mean, that's footy. It's
heat of the moment.
Yeah, just spur of the moment sort of stuff. We know that Tierney's not a malicious kind of player. It's just a this is what footy's all about. It's just a high stakes game, and you're going to get incidents like that no one means it. But yeah, that's well done from Tierney.
And Peck will come on for Nixon. So, we've probably got less than 10 minutes remaining.
Say far less than that. I reckon there's about 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
So, the Saints in the box seat here. As Stewart, as time starts again, goes wide, and mark taken by Buchan. The clock against the Bombers here on their home deck. And Buchan takes on the player. Gets around her, goes up the line, long, got past Winnie Lang who couldn't control it. Bombers at the back through Crook. Dangerous kick coming inboard, but they are at the gambling part of the game. Now taken away by Talia Meyer. Goes towards centre half forward here for the Southern Saints. Harassment in there. In goes Heil, third person in the queue. And the umpire calls for a ball up. And let's get some thoughts on how this is playing out. Dive Island are the Southern Saints here in the box seat.
I think they are at the moment. They're doing everything they can around the stoppages, and they're forcing things to slow down and go the way they want them to.
Eloise Ashley Cooper trying to put it in the direction of Cecilia McIntosh with a smart tap. McIntosh picks up the football. Hand pass over the top to Mia Ray Clifford. Half forward flank. Mia Ray Clifford on the right boot. Trying to square it up towards the hot spot. Marcatini! Wowzers!
And look at Fed through, giving the direct opponent a bit of chocolates on the way past.
I think if you're the coach, you might just tell Fred Frew after the game, Federica Frew, and just reminding her, don't give a nudge like that because you could reverse it in a close game.
Yeah.
I know how you're feeling, but just,
Yeah, she's walking a tightrope there. Big kick. This is a massive kick. We can't understand that. We can't understate that enough.
Renee Tierney, 35 metres out, slight angle, and it's going to hold up. It seems like the breeze has died off here. And the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Is it just me, or does it feel like the breeze has died off?
It's definitely died off. If you look at the trees over on Melrose Drive there, they're very gentle now compared to what they were 15 minutes ago.
7-point lead to the Southern Saints. The Bombers have never beaten the Saints in the VFLW. We talk about how North are Darabin's bunnies, but the Bombers, the Saints bunnies. We'll find out in the next few minutes as the ball is brought back in. Quick hand pass while under pressure across the face of goal. It's Tierney who's got it.
Goal.
Over the top of McIntosh. She kicks a point.
Oh, that just came off the wrong side of the boot there. Had to just be a toe poke and have the ball direct itself into the goal line. That was that's an opportunity gone begging, but
6-4-40 Essendon.
I was just about to say we've just got
Are we
one
in for
straight.
a draw, boys? Are we in for a draw?
7-4-46 the Southern Saints.
Has to be a few minutes in it. There's still plenty of time.
Will the Bombers go down by a goal, and there'll be question marks over what happened at half-time as the kick out of defence. Mark taken. Courtney Ugle. She's got it for the Bombers. She's 52 metres out when she puts boot to ball. 50-metre penalty. Oh, by Jingos.
I don't think Winnie Lane came back to the mark.
This is almost certainly going to point Courtney Ugle at point-blank range.
Oh.
And this is going to tie it up.
Grandstand finish. Here we come.
Courtney Ugle directly in front. Goal. We're all tied up. 7-4-46 apiece at the hangar. It's coming down. We don't have a clock officially in front of us with the exact time.
It says here on the AFL website we've got 90 seconds.
So take away what we know. We're probably looking about a minute.
We might have an extra minute. Who knows?
We're not looking at the screen, obviously. We're not looking at the YouTube vision. We're calling it as it is from the ground. Doing it clock up style, you could call it.
This is what it's about. We like the count-up clock, the 5-minute warning.
With no idea when this game will finish.
Big centre clearance coming up here. I want to see Nauta just smash it forward.
7-4-46 apiece. The umpire to throw the ball up in the air. Away we go again. It's going to be Hines versus Nelda in the contest. Ends up in the hands of Deanna Jolliffe, the Southern Saints captain. She kicks around the corner. Pressure on Nelda after Flanagan overran it. Found out to Caruso. Caruso almost found the umpire with that kick. Mia Ray Clifford is running out to meet the football. She gets it.
Good
hand
hand.
pass sideways. Finds Kenny. It's Kendra Heil. She bombs long. Will they take a mark inside 50? Ball got out
Point's
the back.
going to do it.
No, the ball will go over the boundary line and out of bounds. Yes, it will. A step over the line by Sultry.
That's a big win there for the Saints. They can't afford to just keep the ball moving.
We could be talking 30 seconds or less here. Bombers need to just throw it on the boot and hope for a score. The Southern Saints are in just trying to hold on for the draw at the moment. The umpire taking his sweet time. Just move it, you goose.
Come on.
As we wait for the ball to be thrown back into play. 25 metres out.
Every player inside from centre square
as
up
it's
to the 50. There is nobody in the Saints end of the ground.
Hurry kick. It's been smacked around at the Bombers half forward. Ugle chasing after it. Ugle ran down DeAngelis. Player calls the umpire. Hurried hand pass. Still at the half forward. Ball in dispute. Wrapped up tackle. Caruso goes to ground. Umpire has blown the whistle and says, I'll take the football back. Siren imminent here at the hangar.
Stop clowning around up.
Ball is thrown high in the air. Away we go again. Nauta versus Hines. Batuna immediately wrapped up. Ball over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Right now, if you're the Saints, you've just got to call stoppages.
7-4-46 apiece between Essendon and the Southern Saints at the hangar.
Nearly approached 21 minutes, Pete.
Ball
May
is to be
just
thrown
taken
back
his
into play.
Headset off. That's about to go.
It's going to be an interesting throw-in. Hines at the front. Nelda went with their ball on the deck. Will they pay a free kick? This will be brave. Deep holding. I watch. He's holding. It's a shot after the siren. It's a shot after the siren.
No way.
So you can't play on.
Who's got it?
Eloise Ashley Cooper. And the breeze is picking up. Any score and the Bombers win.
Bombers have got to get players down to the goal line here, Pete.
It's no use players standing around acting like they're looking for a pass.
Get to the goal line.
They have to try and clear. The Saints are backing there because they just got to keep it out.
Get to the goal line.
In she comes. She'll be kicking from 52 metres out.
She's got some breeze here.
Eloise Ashley Cooper. The breeze picked up. The ball's going to fall short.
And we've got a draw.
And it's a draw. A draw in controversial circumstances due to the kick out at half-time and Essendon not being awarded the free kick at 35 metres out due to the ball going out of bounds without being touched. They'll be looking back at that tape during the week.
They will. What can we say? We said grandstand finish at three-quarter time, Di, and God help us.
They delivered. They absolutely delivered.
This is worthy of a finals game, this. I mean, I wish this was a finals game because we'd have to play another 10 minutes or so just to get a decisive winner out of it. And I think we deserved a decisive winner because I thought the Saints, by and large, they just played their strengths. They used their system. They got the Bombers rattled throughout the game.
I think the Saints have to take this away as a win.
Well,
given the way their season's been rolling,
they can put their hand up in the air, Di, and say the Bombers are still yet to beat them in the VFLW.
They can. Well, they can.
Yeah.
the evidence is clear cut, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a game.
And
what an absolute game.
Well, Brendan Major shaking the hands of the umpires. Interesting. I don't know if that's just a little signal of thanks, guys.
Yeah. So, well, if I'm Brendan Major, I certainly wouldn't be giving them any Christmas cards this holiday season. I'll give you the tip.
Well, what a finish. A draw. The first draw of the VFLW 2022 season. 7-4-46 apiece. I know Brian Barish is probably tweeting on Twitter at this very moment the draw song.
Hi, Brian.
But an outstanding game of football. It came down to a potential kick on the siren by Eloise Ashley Cooper. Isn't it weird? There was always a free kick on the siren or mark. It was all a free kick. Quarter time, three-quarter time and full time. And then the one that happened at halftime, which actually should have decided the game, that didn't happen.
Well, look, if it was either a goal or a point, I mean, Essendon probably should have. Like we talked about the Saints' praises a lot, but the Bombers also had every right to have that game won, and because, as you said, that's a free kick every day of the week.
Well, that one on the halftime siren, as we said, there's no absolute guarantee that if they kicked a score out of that game, that means Essendon would have won. There's absolutely no guarantee because it's different psychology, how does the game play out, etc. But it's one that's going to be talked about in the VFLW press all throughout this week. Let's have a look at the goal kickers at full time. For Essendon, 2 each to Frew, 2 to Happy Birthday Kenny, singles to Olivia Manfred, Jordan Zanchetta and Courtney Ugle. For the Southern Saints, it's 2 to Flanagan, 2 to Boyd, singles to Stewart, Rapari and DeAngelis, 7-4-46 apiece. Essendon come from the ground. The Southern States staying out on the ground. Both sides get an extra breather because we have a bye in the competition next week, meaning we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, I think we need a week off after the game we've just witnessed. And look, what else can I say, Peter? I mean, I thought the Saints were terrific around the contest. Hannah Stewart, 9 clearances she finished up with. I thought that was just an immense game, just bloody brilliant with her contested work. Kicked a goal as well in that first quarter, and the tackling. I mean, I saw that there was a tackle in that last quarter where she ran down. I can't remember who it was from the Bombers, but just the want to stop the ball from moving any more forward to even potentially getting a game winner. I mean, that was just fantastic. I thought the post ruck work from Alex Hines in that second half was just absolutely immense. She was equal second in the AFL fantasy ratings here. Simone Nalder, I thought she had some big moments across the game. Thought she was brilliant. Danielle Marshall, I thought there was a lapse there where she couldn't impact the game in that third quarter, but that first half she was amazing, and she had a lot of moments as well in that last quarter where she stopped the ball from going any further out of the Bombers' defensive half.
Look, my only question today on the Saints is the fact that, correct me if I'm wrong, but they did not score a goal at the far end of the ground. They did all their scoring with the breeze. So
you're correct.
So to me, that's probably the one deficiency. And,
they score, they win. Yeah.
Part of it you can put down to the fact that the Essendon backline was very stingy, and Marshall, as you mentioned, controlling coming out of that backline, had a fair bit to say in that. But if you're going to be a winning side, you've got to be able to score at both ends of the ground. And Essendon were able to do that. Unfortunately for the Saints, they didn't manage to score at that end, and it ultimately made a difference. And in the end, the Bombers wasted too much time at the start of that final quarter where they just could not score, and they just got trapped and sucked into the Saints' game plan of pressure, and they ended up chewing up a lot of clock. 7-4-46 apiece. It's time to wrap things up here at the hangar in Tullamarine. First of all, Di Fineland,
Coyote, we look forward to you umpiring your 1500th game in about a month or so time. You know what? You look like you need a drink. Go have a drink this afternoon. And thank you very much for making your debut here on WharfRadio.com.
Thanks very much for having me, Pete. Doc, it's been an absolute pleasure this afternoon. And to the fact that I've actually witnessed a really fabulous game of footy makes it all the more pleasurable.
And to the Doc, mate, you come out for the big games, don't you? What a fantastic effort. Mind you want to hear all about AFLW and the Doc's thoughts on the August start of the season, Nanscawen being signed, etc. The A3 podcast.
Yeah, that's it, Peter. What a game. Absolute pleasure calling with you alongside again. And best of luck to you, Di. I think just your expert comments today were just absolutely fantastic. And yes, A3 Footy podcast, no doubt will be we're red hot on the men's season as well as the women's, but you know, footy never sleeps with us boys at A3. And I just want to give us another shout out to Kat. I got a text at half time saying that he had no idea what the hell was going on with the umpires with that fed through decision as well. So I think we're on to something, Pete.
It'll be interesting to see. I was going to say it'll be interesting to see what the response is from league headquarters during the week. I.e., there will be no response during the week.
No, it'll just be swept under the rug, just like everything else.
Oh, yeah, disappointing, unfortunately. But we only can wonder what could have been. 7-4-46 apiece between Essendon and the Southern Saints. If you want to stick around on YouTube, you can find without commentary the North Melbourne and Williamstown game happening at Arden Street Oval on YouTube. And of course, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. There is a bye for the competition next week. We return in 2 weeks' time. Games to be confirmed once we have dates and times officially set by the VFLW. Until then, a draw today at the Hangar in Tullamarine.